Guys, if we feel very grumpy right now, it is because we did not record 40 minutes of the podcast.
Damn.
We had already gone 40 minutes in until we realized we had not pressed the record button. I am very frustrated right now.
Bad day at the office. We are Inter Milan right now. Yeah.
Bad.
We are Inter right now.
I mean, if you're Simeone Inzaghi, the coach of Inter Milan, and you just lost 5-0 to PSG at the Champions League final, how do you go to face the board?
Bro, for a new contract.
You tell them you got to the final now.
Do you understand? How do you face the board? Like, how do you tell the board, yeah, we lost? You lost 1-0. You can say, okay, yeah, it was a tight game. You lost 2-0. Not good for Inter Milan. You know, we have prestige. You lose 3-0. Okay, this is embarrassing. How can you lose 3-0? We've never lost 3-0 in a UCL final. You lost 4-0 is the same as you lose 3-0. Like, it's now, you're just useless. You lose 5-0. You got to lose your job.
Utter uselessness, yeah. You have to pay for it. A
serious football club, if you lose 5-0 in the final, you lose your job.
Yep, I agree.
Straight up.
I agree.
But it's only a few clubs that can do that. We all know the number one club that will do that. Real Madrid.
Real Madrid, easy.
You don't even make the final, you're out.
Yep. As we found out this season.
Yeah. This is the second time Carlo Ancelotti didn't make the final. He didn't win any of the cups. He lost 2 of the cups in the final to Barcelona. They are arch rivals. Right? So you're gone.
Yeah.
Mans went and picked up the Brazil job.
Very diabolical.
It's a nice gig.
And he didn't choose the Real Madrid player because the Real Madrid player does not play much.
He actually said it. He said, I'm not picking Hendrik. Hendrik doesn't have, good quality playing time at
He doesn't play for his club.
That's Real Madrid.
who he has been coaching for the last 3 to 4 years.
Oh my god! I think 1 year. This is Hendrik's first year at Real Madrid now, right?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
so we lost 5-0 in our own Champions League final. We recorded 40 minutes of the where we were in 40 minutes into the podcast before admin, according to Samson. Before admin realized that he didn't press record. So this is our. Would I say secondhand? Like, how do I put it? What's the word to use here? Our energy is not like this. Is not the initial energy. So we're coming up with something else. We're just trying to.
What we came in this episode now it was a top 20. It was a top 20 intro. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna save that whole intro
for next week.
Yep, I can do that. I can.
All right, let's do it again. Okay.
I have the power to do it. We'll do it for next week. The whole intro, everything.
All right.
We'll save it for next week. Yeah.
What do you have for this? What do you have for this week?
What do I have for this week?
Yeah.
I have loose talk for you this week now.
No, I was talking about the intro, like
Again.
Oh, the intro for this week.
Yes.
The energy for this week.
Yeah.
My brother, it is I don't know. I need to look at the angle of it. The thing is still getting to me. I'm sorry.
Of course, it has to.
It's still getting to me. But we need to keep moving, right?
Yeah, that's spirit.
The show doesn't
stop. That's the energy we want from you.
We need to keep moving.
Yeah,
we need to keep moving. You can't stop.
We can't be defeated at all. Right?
No, we can't. Yeah. That's what they tell us in Nigeria. Despite this bad circumstances and everything, Nigerians are resilient.
Yeah.
We're resilient people. So let's keep being resilient.
What is 40 minutes of a podcast that's going to defeat us?
Do you understand?
Bro. Let's go.
Like what is going on? To keep it real, I grew up without electricity for hours. How can this be my problem?
Osagie said for hours, Ayo.
No, for hours per day. I didn't complete it. For hours per day.
Well,
I hope that clarifies.
Without electricity for days, bro.
No, hours per day now. It's the
bro,
same
did you see
thing.
that? Did you see that video of people praying for the transformer?
Bro, that shit is real.
Yes. It's real, man. Hey,
You
Steve,
do Thanksgiving.
transformer never blow for your streets.
Bro, I don't even blame them.
This is what poverty does to you.
Yes.
And it's not just poverty, right? It's also because I've seen people who are well-to-do who also share this ridiculous mindset. It's beating people to a place of
submission.
Of submission, of hopelessness.
Acceptance of your fate.
Yes. Yeah. Do you understand? Yeah. If you are well-to-do, if you earn well, and you just stay in a neighborhood that the transformer blows and doesn't work for, bro, we've not had. Where I grew up, we didn't have a transformer for like 2 months. NEPA came
it's usually like
they
took 2-3 months. Why did they take it?
They took it to go and fix it. For 2 months straight, there was no transformer, so there was no light. We're raw dogging generator and candle and kerosene lamp.
Straight up.
It happens.
I think it was like for a month or so, over a month, so it happens. It happens like that. Well. Anyways, man, I think we should just start the show. Let's give it our best, guys. You promise to give it your best, guys? Yeah?
Everybody, my name is Micheal. I represent all the radio station. I got with me in the studio, Idris Abdul Karim, representing for the remedy. What's up, Idris? I like to ask a little question about all these ladies, play on May G. Put your hands up. Idris, yo. Put your hands up. Idris, yo. 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 Idris, yo.
Mommy, and what will I do? Àti Becky, well, I want them a job. Nítorí remedy, Idris remedy, player méjì, represented. Mommy, and what will I do? Àti Becky, well, I want them a job. Nítorí remedy, Idris remedy, player méjì, represented.
Nothing to wanna marry me, kiss me, hug me, correct me, collect me. She say she wanna sex me, max me, embrace me, a nigga player in me. I don't wanna sweat this, Steve wanna rape me, twist me, lick me, freak me, trick me. This is every day, then why you play your aim? But let me tell you something, punky as you tease me, you rush, you sell, you rush, you clash, you trash, and I got that.
Forget that. What about Susan, Natasha, Aisha?
Susan is the player, Natasha is the wifey.
What about Aisha?
She's bisexual, she used to be my lady, really as she on the sing with me, satisfaction guarantee. I thought she was a lesbian, she don't even like me. How come she down with you? She cry when I told her, she smile when I hold her, she sleep when I hug her. I gave her satisfaction, I never ever told you in a proper pattern you would be the baby round and crying for. Mama, have another list of lover. However, I'm down for whatever. Player with charisma, ladies protector. I hope you got the picture. If you got the picture, all of y'all, who the hell, come ya all, come on.
Idris, y'all.
Put your hands up. Put your hands up. Put your hands up. Put your hands up. Put your hands up.
Mommy, and what will I do? Àti Becky, well, I want them a job. Nítorí remedy, Idris remedy, player méjì, represented. Mommy, and what will I do? Àti Becky, well, I want them a job. Nítorí remedy, Idris remedy, player méjì.
Can I spoil you? I wanna spoil you, girl. Come here.
all about the money, yo. Look at me, you tell me I'm a true player, hustler. Fame, pass me cigar, pop the champagne, I just wanna take a zaga. Show me where the booty at. Omah, kondo, 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 alata, kondo, wabuje, kondo, 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 alata, kondo. See me on the regular, born and tucking popular. Nevertheless, I'm giving the best and making the best a regular. Candace music, young money men jumping regular. Play a fame, Southwest money maker. Naijani wa hile la sing power. Dambaba, kananan lapia. Nide ga fame, munanan lapia. Goody, goody, money, money, echo.
Money, money, money. I got money, money, money. I got money, money, money. I wanna spend it on me. Baby, I got it. Baby, I got it. Baby, I got it. Just wanna spend it. Just wanna spend it. You don't have to front, 'cause you know. Baby, I got it. I give you what you want. I give you what you need. Love don't cost a thing. I wanna spend with you.
You are now listening to Loose Talk.
Let's start what we have come into the room to do.
Welcome to another episode of your favorite podcast. Let me just check if we're recording. Yes, we are recording, and you are definitely listening to this. Welcome to Loose Talk Podcast. I'm here with my infatigable hosts, right? Mr. AOT2. Yes. Anything culture, he's there. Anything history, he's there. Archiving should actually make you like a patron or something, Ayo. For real. I'm just saying.
We don't work with. We've done something with archiving.
Yeah,
so,
but it needs to be more. It needs to be more. You're the grand, and even the lead researcher. I mean, look at him. He's just sitting there, open for partnerships, and nobody's calling. That is my other co-host, Mr. Steve Dede. Drop a bomb for both of them. 2 bombs. It's 2 bombs for 1 bomb each for you guys.
I think I'll prefer gunshots. It's more realistic, and more in line with where I come from.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Next time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, for the next episode,
right.
you would be getting
Yes,
the gunshots. And a round of applause for every listener of the podcast. I want to give you guys a shout out too. Thank you so much. Next week, I'll be giving you guys a thorough shout out as per the city you live in. And I am Osagie Alunga, the third co-host and the third wheel. Apparently, you guys are loved more than me on the pod. Do you know, guys? No, in the order of ranking for people.
Is that data? Is that data to?
Is that data to
prove
back
this?
this?
To
Yes,
back
there
this.
is. Yes, there is.
Okay.
It is Steve, AOT2. Then when I'm remembered, they
You
mention
guys don't
when you
remember.
But it's Steve in order of life of people that if we put a poll out. In fact, on Monday we're going to put a poll out. Who's your favorite podder? In fact, we're going to do this now. We're going to do the podder of the month, right? So if you're listening to this now, it's already published, and we're going to leave it up for 24 hours. We're going to leave it up for 24 hours. We're going to start making. We're going to start awarding the best podder on the podcast every month. So please go to the Twitter page on social media, right? It's Loose Talk Giants, I believe. Yes, it's Loose Talk Giants. There's a poll set up already. Who's your favorite podder of the month of May? Right? For the month of May, who was your podder of the month? Who was your best podder, whatever, favorite podder? And you guys go and vote, okay? Please, for those who I attacked and called their favorite people scammers, I'm sorry. You guys can don't take that in consideration when you want to vote. All right. Okay, you can actually, because I'm not going to stop. Anyways, let's even start.
The Scammers Are Out series is not a fan like favorite. So I think you should get the podder of the month for me. You deserve it,
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, all I want to say is that now this kind of thing spoil plantation boys. No, we just go, sir. We will do. Don't worry.
That's a good one. This is a good one. All right, we're going to start this episode with a quick series, with continuing our series of The Scammers Are Out, hashtag TSAO, A lady on social media, I believe, says, my rent is 3 million naira yearly, and I want to lock 20 million naira in PiggyVest or Money Point with 16% interest, which is about 3.2 million naira. Then I'll just pay my rent. Now, one Egbon give me this idea. What do you guys think? So, what she's saying here is there are platforms like PiggyVest or Money Point where they give you the percentage upfront, right? There are some
Yeah.
fixed income, they pay it out monthly, some at the end of the term. But this one, right, in this case, they actually give you the profits, your interest upfront, and then they hold
Mm.
your the principal amount till the term completes. And in this, she's saying it's what she wants to lock it. I don't know. Maybe this locking is a year or 2 years. I don't know what it is. Anyway, but anything that's giving 16% upfront might be between a year and 2 years. I don't know what time this is. Um, but it's nothing less than that. This can be less than a year, anyways. She says, "What do you guys think?"
Yeah.
So this guy that replies, his name is 5.6 God. He says, make I enter your DM. I get better agro investment idea. We go pay you past that 3.2 million. It will give you at least 5, 8, or even 10 million naira plus by December. You will pay your rent and do normal. All right. I only came about this guy's comment and even the initial tweet because a listener, shout out to OO on Twitter, who's a listener of the pod, he quoted 5.6 Ghost tweet and said, at Osags, the scammers are out.
Scammers are out, baby.
You understand? And that's how I came about this tweet. So thank you. Right now, like if you guys don't know, I have commissioned a watchdog agency. We are called TSAO. That's what we're
Sharp,
called.
sharp.
We are known as TSAO. The scammers are out. All we do is identify these people on social media. And guys, if you want to join the watchdog, it's free of charge. The only vetting you need is your conscience. If you have conscience, you can identify these things on time. So please just quote the tweet, mention me. If it's Instagram, I'll see it. If it's Twitter, I'll see it. Anything beyond those two, bam, 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 bam. But those two, just mention
No
me
do.
and put the hashtag TSAO. You don't need to write scammers out. You don't want to get any issues with anybody. You're a watchdog, right? Just TSAO. Hashtag TSAO. Thank you.
And
Anyways,
being a
when
watchdog, and being a watchdog means like sometimes, most times you'll be subtle. Like it's subtle. Like you stay hidden while you watch, because if you start screaming scammers are out, maybe the scammers will start running from you.
it has is covert. It's covert, very
Covert, it's
covert.
covert and subtle, yeah.
Thank you, subtle. Huh? You can start your NIA experience from here. You can never tell. Put it on your CV later on. Oh, I was part of the scammers are out watchdog. Oh. Anyways, after OO, alerts me to this interesting offer. The 5.6 God then replies him and says, always ask questions. Always what? Ask questions before jumping into conclusions. Mr. 5.6 God, what kind of questions do I want to ask you that you come up with a proper explanation of how you can give someone 50% of 20 million by December? Explain to me, please. I want to know that agro business that you're talking about. I need to know it. Anyways,
when you come for the seminar, they will explain it to you.
Oh yes, you have to pay for a seminar.
Yes.
Interesting. With my own money. Okay. No problem. So are you going to lock 20 million? Guys, will you lock in 20 million, let's say for a year? Would you lock in 20 million? Because I remember PiggyVest did, I think, 40% for 2 years. So let's say this is a year. Would you lock 20 million naira for a year to receive 16% upfront, which is 3.2 million naira? With 3.2 million naira. Yeah, in a year. Would you do it? Or do you have any other investment
I would
type?
lock so 20 million naira should be about, I don't know, my math is bad. Should be $14,000 or so. Or how many? I don't. No, sorry. About $11,000. I don't know.
About
$13,000. About
$13,000.
Yeah.
If you are using 1.5 as the currency
Oh,
exchange.
okay. It's not 1.5. Let's use 1.6 or 1.650.
1.650. Hold on. I got you. Okay, let's say $12,800. Let's say $13,000.
13.
Yeah,
Okay,
13K.
13. So I'll lock in 13 for 8 to 10%. $13,000, not Naira. Like not 20 million Naira.
Oh, you are converting to dollars. You're not going to do Naira
I'm not doing
investments.
Naira. Yeah, I'm not doing Naira.
Why aren't you doing Naira investment?
Just because of, although it doesn't have,
historical
it's not been happening for a while in terms of currency fluctuation, but I still don't trust that currency. So that's primarily.
Okay, so
USD.
currency fluctuation is your issue. Ayo, what about
Yeah.
you? Ayo
I do the
said,
same.
why am I asking for like to convert into dollar? Yeah, it's a great question.
Yeah, it's like if I have that kind of money, I'm flipping it into dollars straight up first of all. Then I'll do like what Steve is doing. Simple as that.
But you stand to gain if from now to December, right? We have 6 months, and it looks as if the Naira is stable compared to like the dollar. The exchange rate is pretty stable. So if you saved it in Naira, you would get twice the amount, and then you get the money upfront. Say you were meant to do it with dollars, right? You
twice which
get
amount?
You get twice because I'm getting 16%. You're only getting 8% now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I say 8 to 10% because I don't know any investment house that will give you 16% on that.
No, if you like, I think RiseVerse for fixed income, it would be like 8% you get.
It's 8%, yeah. For a year.
And if you were doing real estate, you get between like 8 to like, I think 12 to 15. No, like maybe 12, 10 to 12. Funny enough, I wrote it to someone today. Let me just check.
Bro. 20M is $13,000.
Yeah, so real estate in RiseVerse is like medium risk, so that's like 12 to 15%.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So you probably put it in, but it's medium risk, right? You might lose your profits.
Yeah,
you don't lose your fixed.
You don't lose your base, yeah.
So yeah, I think the dollar option is smarter because of the erratic fluctuation. Although things have stabilized.
Since the market.
But regards guide.
Since the unification of the markets, of the FX market, things have like been better, which is good. Sometimes, like I remember, like these days, if I'm changing money, I don't usually like think about. There's no calculation because like it's almost the same. It's between 1.6 and 1.7. Yeah, so I think it's been better, but I still don't trust. Especially on a longer term, in terms of like 4 or 5 year. I don't know what it's going to look like. So
still
the market is volatile. Yeah,
I'll still go with my keeping my money in dollars. But yeah, it's also like what it is. It's also like as long as you are still investing and keeping your base, just ensuring that your money is working for you. The problem with Nigeria is that sometimes you do that, and by the time you get back your money, it's almost at the same value. It's like almost as 50% less value than when you kept it, like when you did the initial investment. So that's why sometimes Naira-based investments are just very risky. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyways, talking about money, the southeast of Nigeria has lost about $4.75 billion with thousands of people displaced by militant violence and government responses to the sit-at-home Mondays. You guys already know we've talked about this sit-at-home Mondays for weeks, right? Yeah, we've talked about it for weeks. We constantly even discuss it and just mention how it's still possible that in a whole region of the country, an unrecognized, well, you can say they're recognized now, group have mandated the residents in those cities to sit at home on the most important day of the week. If you are about progress in your life, if you're not about progress in your life, or I mean, if you are, let me put it like this: if you're about progress in the society, in the country, Monday is the most important day. So people might say the most progress they get in their life is either Friday or Sunday. But for the country, the most important day of the week
for the economic people.
Thank you. So this report was put together by SBM Intelligence, and it's crazy. It's crazy numbers. I want to read out some of the numbers that I saw. Just crazy numbers all through, and just like, man, what is going on? SBM Intelligence. Let me look for that download again, bro. When I saw these numbers, I was scared. Right? Some of the key findings. So they did a whole report on this, and we'll share the Substack link with you guys. But let me read out a blurb before I go into some of the numbers. From symbolic protest to systemic collapse, a region at the crossroads, the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB's enforced sit-at-home protests have caused severe socio-economic and security disruption in southeast Nigeria over 4 years. What began as weekly Monday shutdowns to demand IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu's release has become a complex crisis. The region now faces violence, economic paralysis, and governance challenges. This report uses data from the SBM Violence Tracker surveys and from the SBM Violence Tracker surveys and interviews to analyze the protest consequence in Abia, Anambra, Ebonyi, Enugu, and Imo states. Some of the key findings here when it comes to economic devastation, you're looking at a cumulative loss exceeding 7.6 trillion naira, with SMEs, markets, and supply chains crippled. Micro businesses lose 4.6 trillion naira annually. Transporters forfeit 10 to 13 billion naira during those daily protests, right? Or daily during the protests. Income drops of 50 to 70% are widespread, exemplified by a seamstress's earnings falling from 100,000 naira to 27,000 naira. This is the most important for me, like the economic devastation, right? Then, of course, there are also governance issues, right? Local authorities struggle amid federal and heavy-handedness and community distrust. Human rights abuses by security forces fuel radicalization, while fragmented IPOB leadership loses control to violent splinter groups like Samuel Ekpa's faction. There's also a generational divide. Youth support for Kanu's secessionist agenda contrasts with elite preferences for restructuring, right? Compliance, which is 82.6%, far exceeds genuine support, which is 29%, driven by what? Fear of IPOB's violent enforcement. You don't even want to talk about the security breakdown. 776 fatalities, 332 violent incidents from 2021 to 2025, with Imo, 332 deaths, and Anambra, 202 deaths as epicenters. IPOB's armed wing, the Eastern Security Network, ESN, and criminal gangs exploit the chaos, targeting civilians and security forces. And then there's even the humanitarian aspect of the whole thing. Education is now disrupted, with students missing exams and schools relocating classes to Saturdays. There are job losses, salary cuts, and collapsed savings schemes, which further deepen poverty. I have a few questions. As we've read these numbers, I have a few questions. Do the people driving... Two questions, actually. I have just two questions. First is, do the people driving this agenda, don't they think the people that they are fighting for, this whole emancipation, right, to make the Eastern region a sovereign nation of its own, don't you think, don't they think that the people they are fighting for, they are doing more damage by harming them? That's my first question. I'd like you guys to answer it, please.
I can't answer because I'm not in that region, but I guess they haven't thought of this that way. I think since this is a militant organization, they've decided that this is the best way this is the best option they have to fight the federal government to accept their demands of leaving the country. But obviously, it's not a people-oriented, from what we are seeing, it's not a people-oriented action. And my fear is this, that even if that part of the country leaves Nigeria, there's not going to be any difference, but because it's going to be a new set of political overlords ruling over people and using harsh methods to rule over them.
Yeah, but you still have to remain very, very, going back to Osage's question, you have to remain very, very cynical about anything that like terrorists are saying. It's usually like deeper than that, right? They will come out and say, "Oh, it's separating that separatist group. They want they want Biafra to be a country," but we know it's all model. Like for people to go through the means of terrorism, killing people, just violence to perpetuate the art and to it means that there's something deeper happening, right? That's like beyond the surface level. Do you get, so like for example, that like conspiracy theories that believe that there's a form of like the federal government is even involved in destabilizing the region, right? Because they don't want it to be prosperous and stuff like that, like, right? So when it comes to terrorists or like terrorism like that, you don't just take like what they tell you. Like for example, Boko Haram will tell you that against Western education, but you see them perpetrating violence everywhere, like even in church, even in mosque, right? Nobody's like a mosque is not somewhere like that teaching people, like it's not an educational center, right? But you see them like perpetrating attacks everywhere. So it's important that when we are judging like terrorists, we don't go by the official statement because what they are doing is like beyond it, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
going to like what is happening in the East, like 4 years of torture. I think what happens to us in Nigeria, like when I mean us, I mean like people in Lagos and other parts of the country that is largely without these like peculiar circumstances, is that
Yeah.
we can never understand what it is to live that kind of life, right? Like imagine not having the freedom to go about your business on Mondays because a separatist group like has gone wild. It's just sad and it points to like complete failure from our governments. Imagine the scale of this economic loss, right? an economy an economy losing how much again? 7.5 billion, right? Sags.
Yeah.
So 7.5, how much? Can
How
we
much has been
confirm?
lost?
Yes.
7.6 trillion naira.
7.6, is it trillion? No, 7.5
Yeah,
billion
yeah, no,
dollars.
$4.75 billion. Yeah.
Oh, in 5 years, it's not going to recover. Let's just assume that the sit at home thing stops today. They're not going to recover. Like the economy is not going to recover in 1 year. Like it will take like at least a decade before an economy will recover from this scale of loss. Right? The average budget of a state
Yeah.
in the southeast is about like $600 million annual budget. Right? I'm using like Imo State's 2025 budget to come to these numbers.
Yeah.
Right? So that gives you insight into like the scale of this economic loss. Right? Also the deaths and the displacements. For me, the most unfortunate thing is that people right now are tired, but they can't go out because of the fear of being attacked. Like even when the official position of the government has been for everyone to return to work on Mondays, people are still scared because the security agencies have not been able to guarantee the safety. That's like the state of like how people are living right now in Nigeria, like in Southeast Nigeria, and it's just sad to see. Right, I remember my last trip to Port Harcourt. Like I took a road trip from Port Harcourt through Imo State and Anambra State to Asaba. There was like the heavy security all through the road. But you could see like in some instances, like in like 500, 600 kilometers like apart, you only see like cars. You see like a scene of where a car has been burnt, right? Where
Yeah.
maybe it's a kidnapping attempt or maybe like it's a security agency like trying to towards an attempt by kidnappers or by whatever, like just to give you like an insight into the state of insecurity in that region, right? It's just sad, because this is supposed to be one of the most productive regions that we have in the country, so yeah. And just very, very brilliant survey and report by SBM Intelligence, because this is what
Yeah.
when we talk about like needing data in Nigeria, like when we talk
This
about
is
like
it.
the scale of losses or whatever it is, we need like this kind of reports to reference to.
You're right. It gives us the insight and quantifies the damage.
Makes sense.
Because you can listen to all these reports, but you really can't quantify how much damage has been done.
Yeah, the
Until you
loss.
then see numbers like this. $4.75 billion loss. It's come on, man. Since 2021, that's 4 years or close going to 4 years. This is how much has been lost. This is how much should have been generated. This is how much should have been made. So for me, I'm pretty much confused from a federal government point of view. This is like also this is loss in taxes.
Yeah.
Because if people aren't making money, then you're losing. Trade is going on. So all those taxes, right? I'll be at the federal government. I'll be worried like, oh man, look at income I should have generated. Look at revenue that I should have made from this part. I can't make it. How do we solve this problem? So it's almost like that is there. The second question, which I've constantly asked on this podcast, is what are the governors doing in this region? And how are the governors so helpless with what is happening? Is it that they're helpless? Is it that they do not care? I'm trying to figure it out. Why can't they?
Well,
Even if
they'll
you
take,
okay, so
yeah.
if you guys say, oh, the governors don't control the police is controlled by the federal and all that, that's fine. But I don't hear any of these governors crying out. I can see representatives. Was it from the House of Representatives or the Upper House when they wanted to make Humphrey Nwosu? That's his name, right? The
Yeah.
Was it Humphrey or Henry Nwosu? Humphrey Nwosu. Henry Nwosu is a footballer.
Is
Yeah,
Humphrey.
yeah,
The
Humphrey
INEC
Nwosu. They wanted
Humphrey, yeah.
to immortalize him, right?
Yes.
With
Yeah.
yeah, I could see them stage a walkout, but I can't see any of them stage a walkout to say, well, to protest against the federal government not paying attention to security matters in that region. I don't see the governors making noise, putting out statements saying federal government needs to come to our rescue here. We need to solve this situation with this security crisis issue. I don't see any of that. It's almost like they're comfortable with it and everybody. So my question is, are they fully aligned with IPOB since they are not fighting it? Or they are just so incompetent that they cannot see that the economic health of their state is suffering? It has to be one of both, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think they have been too comfortable with this insecurity issue, which now raises the question that are they in bed with these people? Because if
It's
you
not.
are
Go on. Sorry.
because if you are meant to secure lives and property in your states, then you should be raising hell right now and saying that we need help. But if all they do is just collect their monthly allocation and chill and just catch vibes, then questions have to be asked. What are you people actually doing?
Yeah, the federal government has not made it a priority, to be very honest. The priority has always been, in terms of security, has always been like the north because of like the scale of the terrorists, like the space of terrorist attacks in the north, right? We also don't have this like our security agencies also do not have like the personnel and the manpower to handle everything, to expand the operations across all regions. So like we have our security challenges also, but that's not to like excuse like the government from the failure that has happened in the northeast. Yeah, it is what it is. It's something that they have to live with for a while until I don't know something else happens. I don't know.
Okay, which leads me. I have two more questions. Sorry, I added two again. My third question is, which leads to my fourth question. My third question is, who are these people? Like this iPod, how are they being, like, are they being recruited on a daily? Because you said they don't have, like, you said the federal government doesn't have the capacity. I'm like, if you send X number of soldiers, I don't know, 50,000 soldiers, 40,000 soldiers, even 10,000 soldiers to this region, they should be able to push them out of the city. They should be able to push them out of the state. Even if you
So
start for one region and then push them, you understand, it can take months to do, 6 months or 1 year of peacekeeping mission in that place and then chase these guys out.
that's
You understand what is going on,
also
Steve? They are shutting down a
yes.
whole day. It's not like they hide, come out. A whole day, they shut down these 5 states. That's the
That's
state of
also
emergency for me.
Yes, I understand. That's
That is the
also
true state of emergency.
why I always point to the government not having enough to deal with this. Because when you talk about 10,000 soldiers coming to chase them, and it has to be a sustained attack, like sustained operation, like
Efforts.
for
Yeah.
6 months in 1 year. They can't afford it, to be very honest. So they come, and these things that you're talking about, they do it, but they come and do it for a month and then go back and withdraw like operations.
Something.
Exactly. Yeah. Do you get? And before you know, these people have like, they recoup, they reorganize, and they come out again. So this sit-at-home Mondays is not been enforced. It's not been enforced by these terrorists like every Monday. But the problem is that you don't know the Mondays that they will come and enforce it. That's the fear. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's not as if you go now on Mondays, you go to these cities or the settlements in the east where they're not going to work on Monday, the schools are not open and stuff like that. It's not as if like they're like just terrorists, like members of like this terrorist group, this IPOP personnel is just like really raiding the streets and patrolling the area and forcing it. They don't do that. But the fear is
they might just pop. They might just pop
out. Exactly. That's just the fear.
Yeah.
And once they pop up, our security agencies are not there to protect you. So that's what people are really
to handle it. Yeah.
That's why people are forced to stay at home. Just fear, out of fear, basically at this point.
With these reports, right? Okay, so my last point there was, with this social economic devastation we're seeing, this whole thing can only go on because of one thing. I'm Nigerian, and I'll tell you what it is. Somebody's making money off this thing.
Everyone has, like I said, everyone has.
This thing cannot just be politically motivated where we shut down one day. Do you understand? There are like billionaires in these cities who need to make money, who are in the rooms with the guys that are moving and shaking things.
So
do you understand
rationally, you are saying that if they were not making money from it, like especially like the elites, they would have found a way to.
Bro.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Osags, that's the thing about this kind of like groups. They kind of like grow bigger than the people who are funding it. Like they go bigger than the initial idea of the operations.
Splinter groups.
Exactly. For example, like I mentioned Boko Haram before, they tell you they're against Western education. Now, right now, does it look like a fight against Western education? Like they have different groups that have really rebelled and gone rogue, right? That's just what has happened with this thing. It has gotten out of control, right? Usually, with groups like this, is being funded. It's usually funded by people who want to benefit from it. But what happens is that it goes rogue, and they lose control of it, and that's where everything goes goes wrong,
And we've seen how splinter groups, right? And when they go rogue, when they leave the core, they are worse.
Deadly.
We can see Simon Ekpa, splitted from Nnamdi Kanu's group, and he was even more of a psycho.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Rogue. Yeah.
Right now he's in court, by the way. Yeah. So that is happening, right? Court, and then there are more splinter groups. I think the first time I learned about how groups like this kind of groups in Nigeria can have splinter groups, and then they are just worse at what they do, is reading Max Solon's book and reading about Ken Saro-Wiwa and the Ogoni people, right? And how the subgroups. So basically what happened was they now became like two factions, and they were the older faction and the younger faction. Something like just like what is going on
right now
in the southeast right now. Same thing again. There was the older faction and then the younger faction, and the younger faction were like they were more violent, they were more brutal. The older faction was looking for a way to almost amicably sort out things where their people will be taken care of, but the younger faction was like destroy, burn, and then they had that whole fight and that whole thing that led to Ken Saro-Wiwa being arrested, because it was alleged that he was in support of the younger faction, and the younger faction did have a clash with the older faction where, bro, it was deadly. They macheted them and cut them, and allegedly and reportedly ate them, which is crazy.
Yes, there's also that
bro.
story too. Yeah,
it's gross.
That's just foul.
The sad part about this whole thing is someone puts together a report like this, but you still see people who question this kind of reports. because they are sold to an ideology and they cannot backtrack from that ideology. And that ideology is usually backed up by what? Ethnicity or religion. They put out this report. Someone commented on Twitter saying, how was your southeast before IPOD started, and where was the economic index of the southeast before IPOP? If you can't answer the question above, then you are just chasing clout here. Someone says, wow, that's a huge amount of money. We await the analysis on how Fulani terrorists have also caused economic mortal havoc on the Nigerian states. Another person says, this kind of report comes up on two occasions. One, if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is about to go to court. Second, anytime May 30th is around the corner. ESN has never enforced sit at home, neither have they mounted any block to extort the people. Another person says, you are so blind to the record, the loss of lives and economic savage caused by the Nigerian security forces, both military and the police, the extortion, the extrajudicial killings, the roadblock. IPOB only demands is UN supervised referendum so they can determine their fates. Another one says, false statistics, very false. After the Supreme Court in Nigeria announced the four-person in election as of first, Imo State turned a federal government-sponsored killing house. Not, and it goes on, and you can guess where these people are from.
Yeah. It's just a whole mess of tribal bigotry, me being latched to one idea and one court leader, so I do not have room to entertain any other story. Anybody who truly cares about Nigeria will be alarmed about the figures here, not concerned about the region or the ethnic history or the history of Biafra. Do you care about Nigerian life? If you want Nigeria to go move forward economically, and you're seeing these numbers out there, then there should be a part in your conscience that pricks you and says, come, something has to be done about this. But sugarcoating this and not just trying to play the ethnic game, because you know that will now cloud everything and not trigger emotional responses from people. It doesn't make sense at the end of the day. And this is what this particular administration is good at. It has foot soldiers that already know that if I press this button and I press this button, everywhere goes scatter and we're going to lose focus on what really matters. And that is it. How do you bring back the Southeast to become an economic powerhouse? I was asking Steve in the group the other day that when they listed the list of states that generated, I think it was IGR or taxes, I can't remember, and Anambra was way below. I was like, how is Anambra so way below? And things like this it just shows you the reason why Anambra cannot get to the level, to its full potential. And if we as a country are saying that Nigeria must progress, but when it comes to issue of Biafra, you now begin to play tribal games, then sorry, man, Nigeria is going to be in the trenches for a long time. Long time.
I even feel bad I just feel bad for children.
Oh,
because
yeah.
if you start you look away from the economic part, you start looking at like the other parts, right? Education. You look at health. People need to go to antenatals on Monday, or there's there's a healthcare. You need to be at the hospital. You need to be at the clinic, and you can't go on.
Or there's an emergency on a Monday. On a Monday.
There's that as well. And you just look at it and everything is standstill because you're afraid someone might bring a machete or a gun and hack me to death because I came out of my house. It's scary. Look at the kids who have to go to school on Saturdays because Mondays, like they've restructured their own week. It's Tuesday to Saturdays now, school time.
Yeah.
And you can look at the ripple effect of that in different aspects. Just, man.
Pastor Sam says something.
Yes.
He says something. It was about this whole students writing exams, doing their WAEC exams in dark and having to use candles. He said, if you want to know what a nation will look like in the next 30 years, look at how it treats young people and children now. So if we have young children who are going to school on Saturday, who have to write WAEC with candles at night, bro, 30 years from now, do not expect a miracle. Do not expect that, Nigeria, no. Because right now, we are placing the seeds for being counterproductive as a nation. So it's obvious, man. It's obvious. If you want Nigeria to get better in the next 30 years, it has to start now. There's no miracle, there's no prayer point, there's no court leader that will come and say, I'll commission one small road. I'll make it look as if they've commissioned a road from Lagos to Addis Ababa. It's not good. There's no miracle. You don't just jumpstart nations like that. It's not possible.
Hey, now wow. Now wow. Death toll, over 700 people killed.
700 families.
You know? Anyways, man, wish everybody the best in the Southeast. If you're in the South, living anywhere in the Southeast right now, please holler at us. Let us know. I would love to hear from you. Just let us know how everything is going. If you stay in Abia, Anambra, Ebonyi, Enugu, or Imo States, please write to us and just let us know, how it's going there. We'd really love to hear from you. All right, man, let's move into other annoying news. The EFCC chairman has defended the fight over spraying of Naira notes. Now, this one is very interesting, right? And I believe it's a video. So let's listen to the EFCC chairman to talk to us about this.
Address. People will go to parties and they will, just like you said, they will carry money and throw it. So me and you will work and we earn salary. Even if you don't earn salary, if you do business, you make profit in your business. After so much hard work and labor, you think somebody who makes legitimate money, just looking at it from the commonsensical approach, will carry money and throw it? For me, if you say it's a traditional thing, it's a cultural thing, our culture must also evolve. It must evolve. Any culture or tradition that will not promote the social interests of the people, the economic interests of the people, and the sanity in our system, I think we should do away with it. Because nobody will earn legitimate money, and our system will be corrected. I'll be throwing it, sir, or stamping on it. It's even ridiculous. We need the support of the international community to grow our economy. We need loan, rightly so, to develop infrastructure. The people we are approaching to get loan from them, they are seeing the way we live our lives. When people will carry bundles of dollars and throw it around, and they'll be asking themselves question, are these people really serious about growing their economy? Now, that's one. There's another aspect to it, sir, the social aspect of it. There are people you see on the streets who are hungry. That just 1,000 naira will help them, will save them for a day. And they will see people spraying money like that. What do you think you're going to do?
Okay, we've heard from the EFCC chairman.
This has been very, very appropriate. Like immediately after this EFCC chairman standby to just play bundle by bundle for me.
Oh, you really would have loved that.
I really would have loved that.
You're gonna put it in the show notes now.
It would have entered seamlessly.
Yeah, but I still got you.
So
when it comes to class, I be teacher. Chop this life, make it no job, you my nigga. Have $1 million when I smile for the picture. That's why I don't put no ice in my liquor. My Benny, it get me long go. Cause when we throw the money with the drum bundle by bundle. My Benny, it get me long go. Cause when we throw the money with the drum bundle by bundle. Was okay, but I know see ya. Money go down okay, but I know see ya. Make that shit. How I gonna say you get there if I know see ya?
All right, thank you, Mr. Bonaboy, with the bundle by bundle. Okay, I mean, I see his fight against spraying Naira notes. I see his fight against defending the fights. I see it. Here's the thing, though. Let's break it down, right? This throwing of Naira notes, when did this thing start? Because we're using coins before.
I heard
right?
it's zero.
In the
I heard
80s.
it's Yoruba people. I heard it's Zayos people.
I will believe that anyway.
But we can't say for sure, right?
So we can't say for sure. So
We can't say
archiving,
for sure.
archiving. When that girl lose your, I'm only joking. Archiving, please just help us. Thank you. The person that knows himself. But I always wanted to ask because I saw a very prominent lawyer. I don't know whether he's a good lawyer. He said that this war against spraying of Naira is a war against our culture. And I would like to ask this man, before the British brought printed currency into our climb, what were we spraying before? Were we spraying cowries? I want to know
Let me
Because
understand it.
you people are doing as if Oduduwa came down.
I
Oduduwa came down.
I never understood. I never understood that culture part.
Yeah.
I never. And
It's
I absolutely
strange.
agree with the EFCC chairman here. We can't continue with this practice. Claiming that it's culture, let's assume, culture evolves. And this has to evolve too, to be very honest. Especially in the Nigeria context where everything is abused. Like, it doesn't portray any sort of class to me. Like, it promotes, like, for example, like, in aligning with what he said, it promotes wastefulness and classism in a way, right? So anything that promotes this in Nigeria often looks like a bigger cultural issue, like love for like fast cash, quick wealth, desperation and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
I just
I agree.
it doesn't make sense to me.
But also to the EFCC chairman, what is good for the goose is also good for the gander. There have been several notable Nigerians and the children of several notable Nigerians who have been seen gallivanting and spraying Naira, abusing the Naira. And I remember this same EFCC chairman said we should give a certain man, I won't mention his name, benefit of doubt. When we all could clearly see.
They found out. The Topolo zone was AI. It was AI. It was
AI. Okay.
Yes,
How about the Okoya Thomas one? The Eleganza Key Zone.
Maybe it's editing.
No, what's that new one that Google has? VO3, what's it called?
It's
yeah, is that new one?
But are you guys serious about Steve? Are you serious about the Tompolo one?
Yes, they said it's AI. Yes,
no, the guy he didn't say it's AI. He said they need to ascertain if the video is AI.
That's what I'm saying. It's the same thing.
No, it's not the same thing.
And they're still ascertaining after
ascertaining it, Abby. All right.
You see, this is the problem.
Yes.
I have several issues with what the EFCC chairman said. The first is when he said if you haven't made money legitimately, you can't spray. If you've made money legitimately and you've worked very hard for your money, you can't spray money like that. Excuse me, sir. That's a lie. People work very hard for their money, go to the people who are changing the money, right? And then go and spray the money. So that is happening. It's not about hard or no hard. You can't throw it into that whole moral bucket of, it's the money launderers, etc. that spend the money more. No, people make legit money. There are weddings I go to where I know the husband and I know the wife and I know their families, and then they spray money. Okay, a lot of us have been involved in this act. So it's not a legitimate or not legitimate. And if you want to force that moral code down people's throat to say or brand it in a way where if people who are spending or throwing that money are not making legitimate money, I think that ship has sailed. You can't do that with that morality thing, right? That's not going to work. That's one, right? Number two is when you say things like this, when you say, the international community, which borrows us, lends us money, they look at what we are doing and see how we are also not treating, that's just false equivalence. That's false equivalence. There's nothing with people throwing money around versus how much you are borrowing from the IMF or whoever. It's the apples and oranges, sir. That's number two. Number three, you said the man, the beggar on the street is looking for 1,000 naira and they are spraying money all over the place. That also doesn't make sense. You know why? It doesn't make sense because the governor that passes is rocking a Patek Philippe that costs $140,000. He's also looking at the lawmakers that he voted, or at least people in his constituency voted for, right? Rocking the best cars and not even living in that constituency, living in the richest parts of the country. Okay? So they are seeing every other thing. They are seeing how much people are embezzling. We're going to go into the budget breakdown and how they've been padding that budget. All that is happening. But you're now telling me it is because people are spraying money around that is making the Naira worthless. No, come on, man. Ayo.
There's something you said. I want to just add Ajasa. When the EFCC chairman said, these foreign countries and IMF and World Bank will look at us spraying money anyhow and still want after they've given us loans. I'm like, the countries that we are collecting loans from or IMF or World Bank don't need to look at everyday Nigerians. They just have to look at the lifestyle of elected politicians. and see the way you people spray money, use money anyhow. You are driving in brand new S-Class. One of your ministers is rocking Louis Vuitton from head to toe. The watches on your wrist. They don't need to look at common Nigerians. They just need to look at the quality of leadership in Nigeria and how you people waste money at the highest level. They don't need to look at common Nigerians. For what? I didn't borrow money from IMF. So IMF doesn't have any business with her. If you want to be spraying my money on the road, on Tomiland Bridge, it not concern IMF chairman. But you elected officials, the way you spend money, that is the way IMF will be like, man, these are just some bunch of Negroes who just waste money all the time at the end of the day. So it behooves our political class to be more prudent instead of showing wealth anyhow than everyday Nigerians who have suffered 30 days to make one pay. I don't go come ball for club. I go Secret Palace now. What do you mean? Are you joking?
Well, I don't like spraying on money. So everybody has their own points. It's ostentatious. I don't like. It's just vulgar. It doesn't connote class to me. That's just how I see it. So anybody that speaks against it, I always see reasons to it.
I have a question though.
Yeah.
The people that are always in front of clubs with the stack of brand new notes, how do those people get brand new notes when everyday Nigerians go to the ATM and they say they don't have, the bank will tell they don't have money, or even if they have money?
How do POS operators always have cash when banks tell you they don't have money?
Okay, sorry, you don't answer my question. As a true Nigerian, you've answered the question with the question. Thank you very much. And we don't understand each other.
It's simple.
Round of applause for Steve, just being a Nigerian. But these are great questions to ask, right? Even for the POS guy, at least you say there's all types of whether it's new or old notes, it's fine. These guys have mint, fresh new notes. And then there's a whole business there, because if you want 20,000 naira worth of 200 nairas, you're probably buying it for 15,000 naira.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Or sorry, if you want 15,000 naira worth of 200 naira notes, you're buying it for 20k, or you're buying it for 19k, or maybe 18.5.
Why is everybody on this call acting as if like if you don't want to get mints, it will be difficult for them?
No, I have the woman's phone number. She's at Ojota. Now. If I call her now, she pulls up with, and she asks me, "Oh, do you want 500 naira notes or 200 naira notes or 1,000 naira?" The lower the denomination, the more expensive it is.
Oh, you are even buying yours?
Oh,
why are you buying yours? I don't understand. I don't have a plug. I have a bank that I have a relationship. I have a bank that wants to keep me as a customer. So if I want mints from them, they'll give me mints. That's harsh. That's how I put it.
Wow.
That's even another level. See? So while some people are buying, some other people they are just getting it express.
Straight from the source.
That's also another. So when the EFCC chairman says all these things, don't you look at all these other things? And why are some people arrested and some other people, not arrested or prosecuted? The Okoya brothers, we saw them live on video. Videos hit social media. Nothing happened. But then Terry Akpala was on stage and he was sprayed money, and then they picked him up and arrested him.
He stepped on it.
So you can't they call.
I understand if you want to look at it holistically. I understand where you are punching the holes of the story, but ultimately, let's go of it and move on. Put it in an envelope and give it to whoever is celebrating.
People are even getting more creative. People are getting more creative nowadays, right? Some people put
bundles.
No, that's not what's happening, Steve.
Okay.
People buy the make-believe kind of notes.
Oh yeah, you print your own notes for your own.
Yeah,
you do your own props for your own events. Yeah.
People buy like props. It looks like Naira notes, but of course the wordings are changed. It's not a legal tender, and then you pay for it. So you can pay for it by transfer, and then you can buy a stack of it, and then that's what you spray, which I think makes sense.
At least, if you want to do what
it's too much work, bro.
But it's too much work.
What's too much work? Go to the stand. How is it too much work? Go to the stand and buy a stack of notes that you want to spray. What's bad there?
Why would I want to spray money?
Because the spraying money is or spraying currency, paper currency. It's a culture now. It's a cultural.
But I'm telling you, that's what I'm telling you. I've used the 5 minutes of my time, a minutes of my time to tell you that it's a culture that has to evolve. It doesn't need to stay on. What's the benefit of it?
Why does it need to evolve?
Because it's not it does not make sense.
But I just evolved it for you now.
No, it still involves going standing up, dancing, and spraying money. Why would I have to do that?
What's the issue with spraying?
Is a show that is designed to impress or to attract notice, designed to impress people. Why do I need to? What do you want to impress people? If you want to gift somebody,
I want people to be impressed.
Okay, well done. Don't worry. That's why they kidnap you people.
Yes,
just right now. Continue.
All right.
I think
that's why you see some cars following you after some events. They'll be driving to know your house. They'll know where you are staying.
Just to round up on this stuff. Osagie said, spraying of money is cultural, which is true. I remember when Wale the rapper, when his daughter was 2 years old, on her birthday, she was dancing and he sprayed money on her. They were spraying money for her. And Americans were livid. They're like, how dare you? Do you know what this means? You want your daughter to be a stripper? Wale had to come out and say, no. Where I come from originally, in Nigeria, spraying money on a woman doesn't mean she's a stripper. Spraying money is actually a good thing, It's a good thing. That's what we do in parties, our birthdays, our celebration, and everything. So yeah, in different countries, spraying of money is totally, it has different meanings.
Man, I didn't even see that cultural context. Wow.
Yeah, there is. Now.
Because spraying of money in another region means something entirely different.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you have to come out and say, no, this is how we do in Nigeria.
That's quite interesting. Anyways, since we're talking about money, let us break down the 2025 budgets. Let's break it down, right?
Big one.
Yeah, big one. Big things are going. The Budget Foundation, if you guys don't know the Budget Foundation, they are Nigeria's civic tech organization that raises the standards of transparency and accountability in public finance. Basically, they tell you how much somebody received and what they spent it on. And if the person has been padding the budget or stealing the money, they find a way to let you know. They also have another platform, I think it's a sister platform called Tracker, that tracks the amount of money that were paid to each constituent to build infrastructure or whatever, and they track how much has been spent, the expenditure and all of that. It's amazing, actually. So they actually uncover, they published their, they call it the insertions by the National Assembly in the 2025 budget. They did a whole breakdown, and I'm going to read to you a statement they put out, and we will share the link to the reports. And that shows the full report of the National Assembly insertions in the 2025 budget. All right, it says budget uncovers 11,122 projects worth 6.93 trillion in trillion naira inserted by the National Assembly in the 2025 federal government budgets. We have combed through 2025 FG budgets, and you will be shocked at what we found. The National Assembly inserted 11,112 projects worth 6.93 trillion naira into the budget. Our analysis reveals that 238 projects valued over 5 billion naira each, with a cumulative value of 2.29 trillion naira, were inserted with little to no justification. 982 projects worth 1.71 trillion naira and 1,119 projects within the range of 500 million naira to 1 billion naira, totaling 641.38 billion naira, were indiscriminately inserted. A closer look shows that 3,573 projects worth 653.19 billion naira are assigned directly to federal constituencies, and 1,972 projects worth 444 billion naira to senatorial districts. Some of the most glaring anomalies include, now this is going to make you guys either laugh hysterically or just be pissed off. 1,477 streetlight projects worth 393.29 billion naira for 1,477 streetlights.
Light up Ninja.
Streetlight projects. 938 boreholes totaling 114.53 billion naira. 2,122 ICT projects valued at 505.79 billion naira. 6.74 billion naira earmarked for empowerment of traditional rulers. Hear that right, guys? 6.7 billion naira. It says, shockingly, 39% of all insertions, right, which is 4,371 projects worth 1.7 trillion naira, were forced into the Ministry of Agriculture's budget, inflating its capital allocation from 242 billion naira to 1.95 trillion naira. The Ministries of Science and Technology, interesting. I wonder who's there. And the budget and economic planning also saw bloated allocations of 994.98 billion and 1.1 trillion naira respectively from insertions alone. We'll put the reports in the show notes, guys. You guys can read it for yourself and see what is going on.
I don't know, man. I just think we need to give these people like a round of applause.
I think so as well.
Yeah. Wait, which people first? Which people? Is it budget?
That's a very important question because I think and Osagie on different ways. Different
no,
wavelengths.
Steve, I'm actually on your wavelength.
Oh, are you sure?
Okay.
I am not on that wave. So which wave are we talking about?
It's the applause for the audacity to do so.
Thank you.
Okay.
You get like
yes,
yeah.
The audacity to do so. You heard the numbers, guys. This is why Nigeria is poor. I need you to understand. So when the EFCC chairman says things like looking at trivial things like spraying of the Naira notes, while advanced free fraud is going on, and then I'm confused. I'm genuinely confused at why he's looking for mountains in moleholes or storms in teacups when there's a tsunami and a typhoon and a cyclone coming your way, or you are even dancing. You are inside it, dancing inside it like this.
Pardon the budget. It's how stealing and corruption are perpetuated by like politicians in Nigeria, right? Like, but I mostly think that the good works of an organization like budgets is going to remain wasted in Nigeria because, how do I put it? Because the culture of corruption is something that has been backed by every important and critical institution in Nigeria. For example, if someone like an organization or a body goes ahead to sue the National Assembly or the person who perpetuated like the pattern of this account, the court and the justice system is going to frustrate that person. We all know that, right? So
100%.
Anytime I come across and I see something like budget has done, something like this critical, I can't help but just feel sympathy for them and just like everyone in Nigeria, because we don't have the framework and the system to ensure that their findings and investigation are put to good use, right? There's no framework for our leaders to be held accountable for their corrupt practices in Nigeria. From the justice system to law enforcement, there's no institution, right, that hasn't been bought. So when people talk about like democracy and like the systems in the world, like especially in the West, what they usually refer to is like the unique strength of organizations. Let me give you an example. You see this thing that's happened between Harvard and Donald Trump, right? Like Harvard, that's the university, is currently confronting the president of the United States and not backing down from, I would say, from their model of operation and the model of operation, the principles of education and admission, simply because they are backed by critical institution. So for like little context, Donald Trump has been very critical of Harvard's like woke ideologies, right? And believes that like the institution has encouraged anti-Semitism, like simply anti-American ideologies and woke ideologies. In the last couple of weeks, Trump has hit them very hard. First with withdrawing all federal like research fundings, and also ordered a ban on international students being able to study at Harvard. But you know what Harvard did? Harvard fought through the system. They went to courts, and they've gotten a little bit of breathing space since that period, right? I want to ask you guys a simple question: can any institution right now in Nigeria confront our president? It's a simple question.
And it's a simple answer.
And not just confront our president and be backed by critical institutions like our justice system and our law enforcement, right? We all know the answers. This is why we are beyond cooked, because we have like a report like this from budget. And guess what we're going to do? We're going to talk about it on this podcast and we're going to move on. We are cooked. Beyond cooked.
Oh boy. What is it? We're cooked, bro. Stir fried, sauteed.
Look at the audacity. Because they know that nothing is going to happen. They know.
Do you see how much went to traditional rulers?
Of course.
Oh, but
Bro,
you know that
6.7 billion naira earmarked for empowerment of traditional rulers.
Yes.
Bro,
and
you know what?
A health institution, one of the biggest in the Southwest, like in the Southwest state for how many days without electricity?
But institution safe now.
No. Let's reward our traditional rulers. They are more critical. They are more important.
Yes, they are more critical because when it's time for election, I need some things to happen.
Yeah.
They are the ones that will pull up now. They are the ones that will pull up.
Yeah.
You know, and this is why I always say that Nigerians are not serious about having a great country. After reading these reports, you should be hounding your senator and your House of Rep. The kind of close marking, this is not even again pressing anymore. It's one-to-one marking now. You know, leave zonal marking. Zonal marking different. This one now, eyeball to eyeball. Oga, what is this? Explain this to us. Let us know. Come for town hall meetings. In short, for the next 4 months, you're not going to Abuja. You should be reporting here every day, breaking it down.
Every weekend, at least.
Yes.
To let us know what's happening.
Town hall meeting, let us know. Okay, you say you want to give us light. Where do you want to give us light? This borehole, where you want drill? But no. Everybody just passe. Everybody else will do as they go. And this is why I always go back to our idea of religion is faulty. Because this cannot be happening. Then you now go to mosque on Friday. You now go to church on Sunday and now be telling God, let Nigeria be great. And God will be like, where is the logic? God is a God of logical. Before God do miracle, there must be logic. You can't have headache and there's Panadol in your house. And you're not saying, Lord, heal me. They'll be like, are you joking, fam? So this is where we are as a country. Have street lights. Bro, see, in Alausa, street lights, they off. Street lights, they off. Which street lights they? This is street lights.
Lagos, essentially, primarily, Lagos is dark. Like, Lagos roads are dark at night. You know?
Very dark.
I remember when our office moved to Ikeja, and I used to I love like passing through Airport Road just because like it's brighter, you know, because we used to go home very late, you know. Just imagine the other routes, like apart from like the airport was passing through Oshodi. Just imagine your tire having a 40 tire at Oshodi, you know, stuff like that. So I think we prefer the choice of going home, you know, via like Nako area, the airport area. And I remember like really in 5 days, you just see the lights working like maybe one day out of like the 5 days in a week of the working week. You know, I'm like, so why is there like a lighting system on the road if it's going to work just a day out of 5 days? Like, it's just insane. Like, what happens to the remaining 4 days? You know, not counting the weekends. You know, that's just how these things work. You know, but they'll put crazy budgets behind it. I'm sure the budget for the lighting system in that road, on that road, you know, can cover for like the 7 days. But something just happens where you're just working for like 1 day and nobody is held accountable and everybody moves on, you know. So yeah, it's
And-
like, you know, I see this great work from Budget every time, Tracker, Nigeria, like I see it and I just shake my head because even the citizens who they are doing these things for, we are very, very casual. We're not even critical enough to even
We're
know
too
that
casual.
we're too casual. We don't even care. We care much about like people who are posting perfume, like the thing, like the things that the things that bring up the conversations
thing
that we
that
have on social
triggers.
media. The thing that triggers us, it just shows that we are not serious. To be very honest. Like, we're just crying over someone that posted his own perfume on the internet or whatever it is. Like, it will now dominate the conversation, or from there to cooking, from there to like one useless conversation after the other. Is mind blowing, bro. Like how casual we are. Like sometimes you go on Nigerian Twitter, you this like what you get from Nigerian Twitter is a country that is really good working. Like nobody has issues, you know what I'm saying? So okay, that's why we're like focused on this like really, really mundane issues, you know. It's just, man.
And again, I think every citizen, I'll just say something. Every citizen should know that budget is the vehicle for corruption in Nigeria. That is how elected officials are able to buy members of their party. When you see members
of the bedrock of corruption in Nigeria, it's the budget. Everything starts from the budget.
When you see members of a party agitating over elected official that this guy is not doing right, this thing, they're not part of the budget.
It's over money. Yeah,
they are not contractors. Your average Nigerian politician is a contractor. He has like 10 organizations that are
10 businesses that he has registered.
Yes, and they will bid for every contract.
Yep, and they'll get it.
Yes,
you know.
Because you keep the party in
one of the biggest ways Lagos State has remained under the confines of APC is this PSSP system of waste collection. Do you guys know about it?
That's what God and Body kicked out.
Yes, that's what God. Thank you, guys. That's one of the biggest thing in Lagos, like ways in Lagos, and like for example, the person I pay to for my waste collection in Lagos, the person I pay to, the guy is an APC member. The person who is in charge of collecting my waste, he's a known APC guy. So his company is the one in charge of collecting waste in my area. You know, so that's how they've been able to hold the whole state. One of the ways whole state captive. You know. So yeah, man.
I also think it is our inability to quantify the numbers. Everything looks very big, right? When you see 1.44 trillion and then you hear 11.7 billion, these numbers are they're far-reaching, right? You tend to, you can't fathom it, right? It's almost in the uncountable space, even though you can count it. But you get my point, right? That you think 11.7 billion and 1.44 trillion are like in the same group or in the same number brackets in terms of quantity. They are like miles apart, but we don't play in that space and you don't use those numbers on the daily. When you hear 1,477 streetlights for 393.29 billion naira, right? You divide that and then you see that one streetlight costs 266 million naira. That's when it becomes an issue. Like, why is one streetlight costing 266 million naira? One streetlight. And then you have 1,477 of them, which total into the billion. So when you hear like the streetlights and the billion, you're like, okay, but you divide it to the units number. One unit costs 266. They said 24 security vehicles going for 11.7 billion naira. Do you know how much one of that is? One security vehicle is going for 487.5 million naira. What car costs that amount?
When will be S-Class you buy? When is not Benz S-Class you're buying?
Do you understand? And that's when you start to say, okay, these numbers are ridiculous. Under the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, right, they are awarding 300 million naira to what? To the construction and equipping of the palace of the Okumagbe of Iluleha or one federal constituency, Edo State.
All right.
Why is the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security handling, or why does he have the budget of handling the construction of the palace in its budget? Why?
Oh, bro. We don't even have an opposition that can even
understand.
We don't even have an opposition that can even take this up. And even if they're using
this is a silver
TV,
bullet for the opposition.
Even if they're using paid TV media, right, to even push this, they'll push it to every media like avenue, media platform in this country.
Sir.
Do you get?
I know
just imagine false news. Maybe there's a Democrat, like there's a how do I put it? There's a presidency from what's the Liberal Party again? Guys, please remind me.
Democrats.
For the Democrats, right? Just imagine what Fox News is going to do with this. Just imagine what CNN is going to do with this.
People lose their jobs.
If Donald Trump is... Do you understand what is happening? Like, we don't even have a viable opposition that can take
that can use the media to just make these guys look like thieves.
To propagate this agenda well.
You know why we can't have it? Because it's the same damn thing they would do.
All of them are benefiting from
this.
That's what I want to say. Because this is their playbook. Irrespective of party, this is their playbook.
Do you understand? You then want the political party. So, Steve, you want the PDP to start screaming. And the PDP people in this
of course, in this national
budget.
In the budget, yeah. Exactly. They're all the same.
They are all there. They are all there. That's why their political parties can't fight it. They are all beneficiaries of this system. Whatever party.
They're all the same.
They're all the same.
It's insane.
Look at the Federal Ministry of Communications and Digital Headquarters, right? Provision of modern digital solar street lighting for the community in Ogun West Senatorial District is going to cost 150 million naira. Establishment of 6 technological centers of excellence in 6 geopolitical zones is going to cost 10 trillion naira.
Yeah.
Hey, God.
Guys, I want you to think of something. If this is what is happening at the federal budget, that a lot of people are even open to even investigate and assess. Imagine what is happening in 36 states, the budget of 36 states.
Civil advocacy in this country, I don't know how they are doing it. It's tough, because imagine just bringing up like a report, like a damning report like this, and we're arguing about something else on social media.
And it's perfume. God. It's perfume that is trending.
Ah, man.
People didn't like this drops and everybody's just like
everybody just moves on. Yeah. And also too, we're not like the public is not educated enough to be this critical to understand it, to even understand what's happening. Yeah, so
they don't. And we're talking about learned people here, graduates.
Exactly, graduates. They don't get it. They get this.
And I think the problem is they really don't get with your going out and coming in every day, but they don't get how this padding affects them, affects their families, affects their future. Like I was telling one of my friends the other day, I said before you were born, your future had been sold.
Bro.
You were born in the late 80s. By the time you were born in the late 80s, they don't sell you.
I think the next topic after this is about borrowing, right? Where more than half of our annual budget is something like we are borrowing to fund like more than half of our annual budget.
And then you look at all this
for 1 year alone, and you're looking at all these expenses, this cost, like the thing that's in this budget, Well,
the governor of Katsina State in one local government inaugurated 8 boreholes worth 3 billion naira.
For 8 boreholes?
In one LG.
It's AI
I never dig borehole before. I've not funded a borehole before to know how much it is.
3 billion, bro. 3 billion naira.
All right.
So we see what is going on, and I don't.
All their kids are in universities abroad, balling. While your kids are suffering in public schools, you are suffering to pay private school fees like tuition for your kids, but you don't understand what's happening with our budgets. A report like this will come out and you just move on. Nobody will even talk about it.
I mean, the APC, the pro APC guys, I didn't see any of them come out when this thing dropped. They just act as if they don't see it. And my problem is
why? You know why they can't?
Tell me.
They're in the minister's office. They are lobbying for. They are bidding for contracts now. Yeah. Me now I go just lobby for road. Me too. I sabi construct road, not to porter.
How many of them are the ministers? You don't understand what's going on.
You know what? You know what me I will lobby for? To build an AI. To be an AI academy in my state.
Yes, that is the key thing. Yes,
that's yeah. Just give me money. Let me build an AI. Now AI they run be just put together a budget. Now your guy go even tell you just put together something. Let's put together something.
So you know what?
AI they run now AI they run now. Oh yeah, move down. You know that's where we are. That's why a refinery that cost how much? That they were telling us, oh, refinery it's going to reduce the cost of importing oil, everything. It has stopped working already. It has stopped working.
It didn't produce one liter of oil.
A single drop. You know, right? It's all good.
My pro-government people that keep supporting these people, right?
Yes.
That cannot critique these people. You see outright padding here, but won't talk. And it's not all of you that have access to the minister's office. It's not all of you that can gain access to the minister's office. Let's keep it a buck. Most of you don't even have that access, and you're just believing in something that you feel you supported and you should believe in because you think you'll be beneficiaries of it because you come from the Southeast, and the Southeast will be further developed. Well, newsflash for you, buddy. No, none of that is going on. It is what has been happening in the last 40 to 50 years that is going on. I don't see any difference. You can't even say, oh, well, I mean, there's a difference between military and civilian, rule, of course. My point here is, in terms of corruption, there's no difference. It's the same damn thing, guys. It's the same thing. And then you guys will still say, no, this government is doing well. Look at where we're doing well. Look at all the people are stealing money right off under your nose. People are stealing money that make I not to talk. I don't talk the one way I want to talk. But that's it, guys. You've seen the budget. We'll put the link for the full reports. You can see how they've inserted so many things into the 2025 budget. This was done by the National Assembly into these ministries. The ministers are not saying anything. The governors are not saying anything. The opposition parties are not saying anything because they're also beneficiaries of it. Man, see, if you want to pull out the incompetence of this government, right? And you have a media team. It's so easy. Look at what Scott Iguma is doing to the Honorable Commissioner of Housing.
Environment.
Look at what he's doing to him. Every week he puts out a new video. My commissioner, look at the road here. Bam.
Look at New York.
Do you understand? Like, it's so easy.
That is mad. He said, look at New York.
He said, look at New York. That's what
Look at New York. Look at New York. I show my wife the video. I call him the VDM of real estate. My wife will just be laughing. But he has a point. He did one. He even asked for user-generated content. And I think people sent him a video and he stitched everything together. Different parts of Lagos, waterlogged, filled with bottles and plastics. We're not even thinking about bottles and plastics. Say, okay, we have a bottle and plastic issue. How do we solve this issue?
Lagos is banning styrofoam.
What is the substitute to the styrofoam?
Now that one, they never know that one. They need a committee for that one. They need to raise a committee for that one.
We have a refuse problem, we have a plastic problem, we have we have a serious problem. And to be honest, I think someone was saying it like, I wanted to throw something away on the street and there were no dustbins anywhere. We also don't have public disposal bins in
units,
open areas. That's also a problem. So people hold a lot of things to themselves all the time and then they throw it. Why don't we have those bins? And for every area you should have at least at the bus stop, but we don't. You know what? I'm going on a rant again.
You know what? Osagie, you know what? Next year's budget will pad all this into it.
Okay. No problem. How much went to traditional rulers again? How much went to them again?
Big boys.
Traditional, I just want to read it again. Traditional rulers, 6.7 billion naira. Some of you listening to this podcast, your uncles are part of and aunties and grandfathers and fathers or uncles or whoever are beneficiaries of this money. And you are also a beneficiary of it. That's why you also cannot talk. And that's the problem with with corruption in Nigeria. It is so institutionalized, right, that it's deeply rooted in everybody, that it's hard to give it up because you are a direct beneficiary of it, one way or the other, or indirect, right? Some of the money that sent you people to school, home or abroad, is part of this money. So it's really hard for people to shut down corruption because the next person beside them is their benefactor, and then they're screaming at that person, which is, a problem. So how do we turn away from this? I don't know, and I don't even think I don't know how possible it is.
Well, I don't think Nigerian solving corruption is going to happen anytime soon. Just off this whole traditional ruler stuff. Federal has given them, states is going to give them to. There's some state, I won't just mention the states. There's a state that has budgets for traditional rulers. In their civil service, they are ghost workers. The salary of those ghost workers go to your Oba, I don't talk about it. You don't go to your rulers. So there are 6 Yoruba states. There are 6 Yoruba states. Anyone you want to choose.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
But yeah, Nigeria's president is seeking $21 billion for foreign to borrow to boost growth in the country. Now, this was reported by Reuters on May 27. Nigerian President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has asked the parliament to approve more than $21.5 billion in foreign borrowing for its 2025-2026 borrowing plan to plug financial shortfalls to boost growth, according to a letter a letter from the president seen by the Reuters. Right? Tinubu also asked the parliament to approve 2.2 billion euros.
Who's the parliament?
The National Assembly.
Oh, is that a word that we use in Nigeria? I don't understand.
It's Reuters. Parliamentary level. Reuters, yeah.
Reuters.
That's why they will say the parliament, yeah. So Tinubu also asked the parliament to approve 2.2 billion euros and 15 billion yen of borrowing abroad, in addition to a $2 billion denominated borrowing at home. So 2.2 billion euros is about $2.5 billion, and 15 billion yen is about $103.97 million.
But we've cleared the home debt now.
Well, it's like you rob Peter. You actually didn't rob Peter to people. You robbed Peter, and you told Paul that you gave Paul £1.
Yeah.
At least we are debt free. We are debt free. That's what it matters.
Right? No. That's not what they said. Like that debt is, we're not debt free. Like we're not debt free. We just paid off for like the home. Yeah.
Hey, that one,
right.
Bro. That one is small. Now it's much more change. You got to give the guy when you're ready now.
Osagie has not finished reading. Make him finish.
Okay.
The new borrowing makes up around 60% of the total spending earmarked in the 2025 budget. This same budget that has been packed. Do you understand? Do you see where the problem is now? The new borrowing makes up around 60% of the total spending earmarked in the 2025 budget and marks a shift in the government plan to promote investment abroad to attract equity investors rather than debt to curtail rising debt costs. Okay, guys, and this is my connection here, right? We're going to borrow all this money to spend it on things that we are not meant to spend it on.
Borehole.
Right? There was another guy that did a breakdown of how there's context to this borrowing and all of that, right? Someone did a whole breakdown of how the money is going to be spent or why we're borrowing this money, right? And basically it's that the $21.5 billion borrowing plan for 2025-2026 includes, and also the 2.2 billion euros, 15 billion yen, and the 65 million euros grants aims to fund infrastructure, health, and jobs to boost Nigeria's economy. Supporters of the government see it as vital for growth, but critics warn of unsustainable debt, with Nigeria's current debt at 144 trillion naira. That is our current debt. Now, of course, public opinion is split here. While some people are saying, oh, this is great, we can use it to plan for the next few years, do you understand, for infrastructure, health, and so we don't go month on month borrowing, do you understand? But I mean, you just borrow at one time. As you borrow money from one of your guy, that he never do you before. Your guy will just come into you, I beg, if you just give me like 10K, I beg. You'll give him 10K, you don't come back again. That 10K will pay you like 8K. Then you come back again. But if you give me like 20K, one day we'll just come say, oh boy, this thing where I want to, just give me 150. Give me 150K. So make I just round them up 150K so that I could just sort it. Instead of make they come every time, come they borrow money. The last person that did that to me and I lent that person the money has not paid me till now.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what they call that?
What?
They call it instrumental begging. They go beg once. Go beg, they go.
Instrumental begging.
I don't know. This is our reliance on debt, like, especially in this post-reform era, right? Like, and these reforms that has made everybody to start, so like that has caused like suffering for Nigerians, and it's causing like serious issues for us. Because if borrowing accounts for, because the article said 60% of the planned 2025 budget, right?
Yep.
It's like you mentioned before, it's a huge sustainability issue, right? So where have we gone with these recent reforms? Like, how much have we saved from not paying fuel subsidy? Every day we keep hearing how an agency has generated the highest revenue in their history. Where are all this money? The government has laid strong emphasis on stronger domestic on revenue strategies, internal generated revenue, and reforms, not paying subsidies so that we'll have enough money for infrastructural development. Where have all these things? How have they accounted for what we have if we're still borrowing 60% year on year to paddle for our budgets? Do you understand? Like, that's just my own question. Where are the data? Where is the data? Where is this record? Like, how has subsidy helped us in the last 4-5 years? In the last 2 years, sorry, since Tinubu became president, right? What's that substantial like data or like evidence that the government can show us to say this is how it has improved our budgets? We're not borrowing as much or whatever it is. Because if you are borrowing borrowing to fund 60% of the budget, it means that we're not getting anything at home now, right? So that's just like my only question there. Who am I asking anyway? So,
and that's the big issue there, right?
Yeah.
That's this subsidy removal. What was the money then directed towards? And what was the impact of it? And my biggest grouse with this borrowing, right, is because you have to borrow. We don't have the money.
Yeah.
You understand? Like, we have a revenue crisis.
Of course,
we'll go into that, right? So we need the money. My
we
problem
have a
is
weak revenue base, yeah.
Yes. Once you get the money that you've borrowed, right? Where is that money going to? And we just read where some of
we just read where it's going to. It's being padded
16 billion naira out of that money is going to traditional rulers. Basically, their upkeep.
That's a fantastic.
What's my business?
That's fantastic use of money that you borrowed.
You understand? We're going to buy 24 vehicles worth almost 500 million naira.
Have you rappers?
Yeah, that's fantastic. That's excellent.
We're going to build street lights for 201 street light for 260 something or 220 something million naira. One street light.
Have we forgotten the borehole? A borehole is how much again?
Well, we have 13
billion. Are we how much?
10 boreholes for 3 billion naira.
For 3 billion naira, sorry. For 10 boreholes.
8 rather.
What's the depth of the water level on the ground in the north that you are
in Katsina State?
In Katsina State, they are using 3 billion. How many pipes are you putting in on the ground?
Mega pipes.
People, I'm on Nigeria.
Mr. Beast, it's not Mr. Beast that went to the north to build.
It's not north. It's in Kenya. Where? Was it in Nigeria?
He didn't come to Nigeria.
I'm not sure. Did he come to Nigeria?
No. Oh, he didn't come to. Oh, so Ashakain went to Niger State now.
Yeah.
But there's an explanation now. They said that when government does it, it's different. You have to do many things. So that's why the money is inflated. So you have to understand that when the government does it, they have to go hard.
Oh my God!
That's why people that support this government, when I bring these numbers to them, and that's it. You know what? We need to have like a debate on pod. I need a strong pro-government person who, someone like Inyi. You know how deluded Inyi is around supporting. I need someone like that needs to come on the pod, and then we just break down, because I want to read these numbers and then say, what are your thoughts on this? I want to see the excuse. I just want to see what they say.
My own problem with Inyi is not that he supports the president or whatever it is. It's just his disposition anytime he's arguing, right? Like the way he laughs. He will make a point and I'll just laugh. I'm like, what are you? You laugh. I'm like, the laugh is like, you guys don't understand what's happening, man. Like something great is you don't get it. I'm like, bro,
you know, I want someone to explain to me why the president's motorcade consists of 138 vehicles.
If you have a problem with his own motorcade, that means you've not seen the motorcade of the first son, brother. It's ridiculous.
Wait, is more?
I have a private video I'm going to share.
It's more than 138.
It's not more than, like, it's still ridiculous for someone who's not like an elected.
I've seen his
leader. You've seen his own, right?
Before, but that was before
before presidency.
Before Popsi became president.
I think now,
and that was wild already.
Yeah, just imagine now. It's stacked.
138 vehicles in your motorcade is crazy.
For people who are borrowing to fund 60% of their budgets.
It's crazy. 138. Bro, do you know what they call 138?
The EFCC chairman said people spraying private money is what our borrowers will have problem with. Do you understand? Yeah.
This issue of 138 cars and us borrowing is where I really feel that the West is actually promoting corruption.
Oh, the enablers.
At one point, even me, if I get bar and I see that, okay, you say, AOT2, I need like 2.5 million to start a business.
You can't carry 2.5.
I can't see you
for library.
For library. I see you for Secret Palace. I see you for Silver Fox.
Not besides I see you once, so you always they go library. You go with like bad babes, bad.
As a matter of fact, you put the flyer for your WhatsApp status.
Thank you. Same here tonight. Join me while I party at the library.
Yeah. Then a few days later,
tonight we ball.
We ball. Then a few days later, you come and beg me for money again, and I'll willingly give you. The enablers. At what point you be telling Nigeria that start showing what
you should understand the interest rate also that we are paying back in. It's not interest free. It's not interest free loan. To be honest, it's also an economic. But it's also a business decision for them.
Yeah. Also, if you're a borrower, you always pray that your debtor keep coming back to you.
That's it.
That's the nature of the business. So that you're a private.
And it's not as if this person is an individual that would die. This is a country. They go pay you back. You don't understand?
They don't pay you back. If they don't pay you back, just start collecting things from that country.
Exactly.
Soldier come. Soldier
go.
Barracks go stay.
Barracks still remain, man.
Hey. But I think we can use AI to solve some of these problems. I think that's why they want to establish AI Academy, right?
Yes. So when it comes, let's move into the next topic. Lovely segue. By the way, round of applause to you, Steve. Maybe you host the next episode.
I just looked at the talking point and I saw it.
Yeah.
Okay, this is it.
Well, when it comes, let's talk about blockchain and AI. Let's talk about blockchain first. The Honorable Minister, Dr.
Osage's favorite minister.
My favorite. Yeah, my favorite minister. Dr. Bosun Tijani, Minister of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, who we just see that his budget was also inserted with a few things, mentioned that the Federal Ministry of Comms, Innovation and Digital Economy has released a white paper detailing their efforts to develop a holistic national blockchain policy.
I read it. It's not bad. Okay,
this policy aims to provide a structured, inclusive, and forward-looking framework for blockchain adoption in Nigeria. The inclusive approach ensures that Nigeria's blockchain policy is not only technically sound, but also locally relevant, with broad-based support that reflects the realities and aspirations of our nation. Through its collaborative process, we aim to facilitate comprehensive policy development, promote public trust and awareness, and spark innovation that leads to real-world solutions. And then, you guys can check out. We'll put a link to the National Blockchain Policy White Paper, right? And so you guys can check it out. It's co-creating a roadmap for blockchain in Nigeria. It's also worthy to inform you guys, right, that just 2 years ago, the National Information Technology Development Agency launched a national blockchain policy for Nigeria.
Block it. Block party. Block party. Stop blocking our fear.
Just 2 years ago,
the
NIDTA, right?
Yes,
National
I remember.
They launched a national blockchain policy for Nigeria. So I'm struggling to understand, and I read the white paper that Dr. Bosun Tijani, Honorable Minister, put out, right? And they kind of mentioned this in NIDTA's zone, and they will incorporate blah blah. And I'm just like, Pantami already launched this thing, right? When he was the Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, he's Dr. Bosun Tijani's predecessor. They launched this thing in 2023. So really, what is going on? Are they relaunching it? Why is there so much effort made on? And again, you guys will ask me, you guys will hear me say, is this the most important thing right now to be solving for?
To them, it is.
Man.
Is this the most important thing to be solving for? Like a blockchain policy? It's important. Don't get me wrong. Blockchain policy is important, right? Because we need to start building the frameworks. But is this the most important? Like, in your scale of priorities, is this the most important thing that we need to be solving for? Do we not have state of emergencies in your ministries right now?
Yeah.
That we need to be putting fires out? Or are these guys just very good at multitasking?
I think the idea of activity, the idea of just working and being involved in an activity, of developing an initiative and activity, is more important than the impact any of those activity would have. Do you get? So that's why they keep doing these things. Like, it's just show workings, bro. And that's it.
Okay.
That's just it. Yeah.
From blockchain to AI, right? There is a bill to establish an artificial intelligence academy in Omuo, Ekiti, and it has passed the first reading. Let us listen to one of the lawmakers present the bill.
Today is the presentation of a bill standing in the name of most distinguished Senator Adara Modu Adeyemi Raphael on the Artificial Intelligence Academy, Omuo, Ekiti State Establishment Bill 2025 SB 763. Mr. President, you may wish to invite the Clerk of the Senate to read the short title of the bill.
Distinguished Senators, Artificial Intelligence Academy, Omuo, Ekiti State Establishment Bill 2025 SB 763, first reading.
Distinguished colleagues, Artificial Intelligence Academy, Omuo, Ekiti State Establishment Bill 2025 SB 763, first reading taken.
Toro Kocha, I don't hear him. The first reading has been taken. See the way the Senate Intelligence Academy. Don't let me go there. Anyways, yes. What are your thoughts on an artificial intelligence academy being built in set up and built in Ekiti State? And there's no shade to Ekiti State, by the way. Okay, because we do this thing where we move out of certain cities like Lagos, Abuja,
I want to laugh at them, yes.
and Rivers State, and you say, what's Ekiti doing? I'm not a fan of that. Never been a fan of it. Will never be a fan of it. Right?
Yeah.
So in that context, Ayo, your feedback.
I'd like to know if there are vacancies for teachers and lecturers so that I can apply. I think all of us here can all apply for an AI academy because we really need it.
Says the person who uses only ChatGPT as his only AI.
Bro, that's intro to chat. That's a course on his own now. CGPT 001. What am I going to
I actually did that course yesterday. On Friday night, sorry.
You see how?
On Udemy.
Yeah.
I saw it on someone's LinkedIn. I was just curious, and I just did it. 6 hours, but I rushed through it, and I got it. I got it. I will always go back to how we've always missed. How we've always missed, like we've missed, being properly aligned with the world trends, right? So from the Industrial Revolution to the digital age, digital age, we've always consistently failed to capitalize, right? Just because we fail to do the groundwork, right? And the groundwork here is like real groundwork, not just like this fake readout these people are doing. Let's start with the Industrial Revolution. Like when most of the world was like mechanizing agriculture, starting up like manufacturing hubs, blah 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 blah. We were just focused on dependent on oil. Remember, corruption took over and everything collapsed. Education, electricity, like the overall infrastructure, which was supposed to like really power manufacturing, collapsed. That's why today we import everything, both from toothpick to pencils, everything. Then we went to like the digital revolution. Yeah, and so when we talk about digital era, people often think that we're talking about like data and internet. It's not just that basic. Even at that basic level, we still have about like 40 to 50% internet penetration only. That means like 50% of the country is still out of like internet digital coverage, right? So that's even poor on its own. But a digital era ensures that like means powering like industries digitally. In Nigeria, we can point to we could see banking, and we can say like the private sector and media, like those are on social media. Those are the only industries that fully adopted like digital technology. Do you get? We didn't do it. We've not done it with our education. Like how many schools, from both like primary school to secondary to tertiary, how many schools are like really powered digitally? Do you get?
Mm-hmm.
Our civil service, are they being powered digitally? No. Like this is what it means by aligning with a revolution. So we've missed that, right? We have like digital creators, we have talented developers, but those are like exceptions. It is not the product of like a framework that the country has set up, right? So now we have the AI revolution again, and we are still going to miss out just because we are seeing announcements like this, right? With little conversation about what really matters. Like how are we adopting this into like the educational system? Why do you need to set up an academy where we have schools all over the country where you can introduce it as a course or as a learning criteria? Do you get? These are the national frame and integrate it. These are the frameworks we are talking about. So we'll now come and just do hype, and we'll miss out again, and nothing will happen.
Yes.
That's my thought on it, and it's just painful to see them just repeat the same mistake every time.
Very well said, Steve. It's almost like we jump the steps, the basic steps, right? Which usually involves infrastructure and planning, and we just jump to what we can quickly capture, what we can quickly do, and then there's no thorough integration and planning into like the system, into like curriculums, into like schools or whatever systems.
Healthcare.
Yeah. Which or whatever ministry oversees, the integration. And then a lot of people are left out and just a few benefit from it. If you set up an AI, artificial intelligence academy now in Ekiti State, and how many people do you have exposure to there? And when I mean how many people, get me right. I mean, even in Ekiti State, since you're not integrating it properly from the start into like schools, how many people will have the time to attend an artificial intelligence academy? Is it the people in uni? Where are you setting them up? So those are the things you really need to look at. Ekiti State has a state university, I believe.
Yes.
Will they integrate this into the academy? What is the state of the computer science department in the state school?
Schools, yeah.
Yes. Before you start building an artificial intelligence academy. The only thing you do here is people And that's a very small percentage of people who have requisite knowledge of this will be the only ones that can access it. You get what I mean? They are the only ones that can access it because the majority of people don't even have an idea of what is happening. So they are not going to go to the academy because you can't start. If you go to Artificial Intelligence Academy now, where are you going to start? You're going to start with Python, right? You're most likely going to start with Python. And these people don't even have their maths in check. They don't even have statistics in check for you to then start teaching them how to code, you know. So that's just my issue. We keep jumping steps and bringing something flashy and big and expecting people to then integrate themselves in it, which will only have exposure to a tiny percentage of people who've already done that groundwork of understanding what it takes to be in that space. And that's my issue.
Yeah.
So this thing has spurred a lot of conversations. You know, somebody said it's mind-boggling that a country like Nigeria is talking about AI as the next big thing, right? And then puts a screenshot of The Economist on, I believe, on Instagram.
That's the publication, right?
Yeah, The Economist, the publication, posted a story saying, a nation in the dark, Nigeria has more people without electricity than any other country. Did you hear that, guys?
Yeah, I
Nigeria
saw the
has more people without electricity than any other country. Fixing that would be what? Fiendishly difficult. So you want to build an AI academy, but you don't even have power. You don't have power to power a database. So you want to build a database house. There's no power. It has to be on gen or inverter. Like, we have a power problem. We should be seeing. I want to see how we solve power problems, not how we solve AI problems now.
The fundamental issues are we are still lacking. We've not solved the fundamental issues in Nigeria. Before we now start doing all this grandstanding and using all these buzzwords, which I believe the Honorable Senator does not even understand fully himself. We need to deal with the issues at ground here: electricity, poverty, education, health, before we now start building castles in the sky.
Emmanuel Njoku, you guys know him, the young co-founder startup. You know, he started there was a startup he worked on. They've closed it now, but it was quite successful when he ran it. But now he's the co-founder of Metastable Labs, right? And he said Nigeria has no business coming up with any AI or blockchain policy, fix the damn electricity, equip our primary and secondary schools with computers, and pay teachers well. In 2024, most parts of the country do not have constant power. That blockchain policy is only a paper and it's never going to get implemented, same as the one in 2023. It's just a means to steal money as usual. At this point, it's better to launch a meme coin than back that shit.
I believe so.
Right? Onye Ekuzi says, I don't care how many Harvard, Cambridge, Stanford, Oxford, and Chatham House lectures you've attended. Business in Africa cannot grow significantly without reform in governance. You can't write government out of China's growth story. And if you think you can create Africa's Amazon / Alibaba without logistics, roads, railway ports, or Africa's leading AI data centers without electricity, I'm here to tell you that you're wasting your time. We shy away from addressing governance because it is risky. We could die in the process of challenging it, and also because many of us benefit from the existing corrupt, directionless order. See, this dude, Onye Ekuzi, if you guys don't follow him on, he basically just summarizes and articulates what we've been trying to say in the last hour. This is it. We've mentioned, right? Infrastructure issues. Governance. Infrastructure issues. How did Jumia and Konga struggle? Bro, if NiPost was working efficiently, do you think Jumia and Konga would have struggled as much?
Nope. Because they have an existing framework to build with.
They can just plug into straight.
You just plug into.
I went to the NiPost office in Ketu, right? Bro, bro, the the infrastructure and the rails that NIPOS has, just alone with the outlets they have in each state, in each regions in the states, bro, there's no reason why. And that's what we've been trying to say. Like, those infrastructure will just exist, right? As rails. Then everybody who wants to build anything just comes and builds on it.
That's it.
Finish.
And
that's how you build it, create an industry. That's how you create an industry.
So what happens now is that a lot of people who want to solve solutions, right? Like third world, like bigger solutions and bigger problems, because they're not thinking of solving the initial one because they should think it exists. They struggle to do so because the initial problems have not been fixed. We've just done a clear example with NIPOST. If NIPOST was efficiently working, platforms like Jumia, Deal Day, Konga, and all these guys would have done better. Why? Because that problem of delivery is already sorted.
Yep.
Solve.
It would be easier to build businesses around, to build logistics businesses. Easier for everybody. How did Nigeria, let's even go back to this digital era, this digital revolution. How did Nigeria, in their education, how did we do it? We did it by building ICT centers in school where we locked up the laptops, the computer, sorry, I said laptops, the desktop computers. We locked them up.
Yeah.
Like it was like a tourist attraction. That was how Nigeria.
Yeah.
That's how Nigeria partook in the digital era, in the digital revolution. But now you want to go and set up an AI academy. What does that even mean? If they had said, you know what, we want to do like a 6 months program for AI to teach people AI, then to get teachers across the country and bring them together and teach AI so that they can go back to their respective states and disseminate the knowledge, right? And train kids, so that because it will be integrated into the curriculum of the school so that they will be able to train them. I will agree. Not that you're setting up an AI academy. What's the framework to do what's an AI academy? What do you need an AI academy? The China that did it, the China that's right now adopting it and putting AI into every facet of manufacturing and everywhere. America that is bringing out like AI companies by the minute. Do they have an AI academy? Because they don't have. These people are just building on top of existing infrastructure and existing things that is like connectors. That's it. Just leave us alone. Don't leave us alone. Just provide the basic things, and you see us come up with these things. You know, so it's just we just keep repeating ourselves every time on the podcast, and it's just frustrating, to be very honest. Because next week they're still going to talk about this thing again, and it's just frustrating. You know,
this is the quality of leadership.
We just keep building on sand, and you know, we need foundational investments, like fix education, like ensure stable electricity. That's it. You know.
Ayo.
Yeah, so this is quality of leadership that we see. If a federal senator can stand up and say this, then bro, it's a problem. And
a senator does not even
a country cannot become great with bad leaders or leaders that cannot think and solve basic problems. You know. So Nigeria will still be dancing around with this now. See, after this president administration goes, another person come out again and say they want to do AI academy, and we just keep doing this rubbish all over again. Meanwhile, Nigerians will still have electricity. Nigerians will not still be secure in their homes. Transportation will still be a mess. Healthcare will still be a mess. Education will still be a mess. So if they cannot deal with these fundamental issues, what can they do? What are they actually doing? Because Nigeria cannot, look, I don't care whatever. Nigeria cannot grow without the fundamental issues being solved. But hey, at least Baba wanted to trend, and he has trended now. He wanted to show his people back home that it is a senator, that they cover me, and he has been covered duly.
Let's listen to what Tony Olumedo has to say about artificial intelligence doing well in Africa.
I'm big.
Is such an issue. I listened to the conversation this morning here when the energy minister was talking about scaling up, even America scaling up to 100 gigabytes of electricity. In the additional, for AI to do well on the continent, we need to even improve further the electricity availability on the continent. So for me, first as an investor and also as a chairman of a bank and an Africa capital and somebody who thinks a lot about how to transform Africa, especially into a fair change from within. Ability to improve access to electricity on the continent is so critical to the development of Africa. Ability to improve payment infrastructure and system on the continent is so critical for the development of the continent. Ultimately, we need to create jobs for our young people on the continent. There's not time for any job losses, but we need to do a lot more so that we can increase the ability of the system to create jobs that our young ones need.
100% well said, man. He said it. He said it. This is not the time for AI. This is the time for electricity.
Yeah.
You understand? Do you think that people in like advanced countries like China started thinking of AI if they didn't have power?
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
They would have thought about, yeah.
Any country or set of people that not play sufficiently in the previous like revolutions, you're not going to automatically just come and there's no way you can even come and make up with AI because everything is like is a foundation. Just imagine, how do you even start with AI when someone does not even know how to operate like a simple computer or does not even understand the framework of the internet and stuff like that, which is also like what is like popular, like the reality on ground in Nigeria, you know. But you want to start training people on AI, it's fine.
There's something our Minister of Power said. I think that's the most sensible thing he has said since he came into office. He said for Nigeria to have uninterrupted power supply, we will need $10 billion annual investment in electricity for the next 20 years. Not the next 4 years, not the next 5 years. For the next 20 years. This is how far behind we are. All right? And people just want to go and jump on AI and think that, you know, it will be the solution for this country. Well done. Well done.
Someone says this is my main issue with the let's focus on what we can do as citizens arguments. We're handicapped by poor governance. There's only so much individuals can do to contribute meaningfully and sustainably to a country's development when the government actively sabotages progress. And this is the problem I have with people that do like the all positive thinking. You
Nigeria
know,
is a positive
some of my
land.
startup friends, hey man, we have these numbers, we're resilient, we can do it, we just need to build. No, what should be happening is everybody should shut down and say, until XYZ speaks, we really can't move forward.
We are not doing anything. Yeah.
And I know that won't happen, but for me, that's like the ideal thing. Because we keep building these castles in the sky, and we've been building them for the last 20 to 30 years now.
I don't think it's the ideal thing because people have dreams, and I don't think they want their dreams to be. I don't think they can just wait for like the systems around them. If they can build around it and whatever it is, I just like make any sort of progress, especially personally. For them, I don't have any issue with that, to be honest. You know.
Let me give you a clear example of what we've been discussing, right? That is starting from scratch and building infrastructure. You know, the Guinness World Records recently awarded a young Nigerian, Oluwatobi Oyinyola, is a Nigerian researcher, right? He has created the smallest GPS tracking device. It's still in prototype mode, right? But it is the smallest GPS tracking device. Now, there's in his interview, right? Toby says he's been experimenting with science for 2 decades. It says, as a young Nigerian student in Nigeria, he first fell in love with technology around the age 13 when his secondary school got a fully equipped computer lab thanks to a donation from alumnus and engineer Sheyi Makinde. It was the first time Toby ever laid hands on a computer. He said, from that moment it booted up, I was absolutely captivated. So it just means, right, that if this boy, if a private individual had not donated a fully equipped computer lab to this guy's secondary school, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. No smallest GPS tracking device.
And you see, who knows what would have invented but other people didn't have the chance to.
So that's my point. You know, you have to fix the basics before you go on to build these amazing things that we want to build. I mean, there's a counter argument about this whole thing that two things can be
Which
built
is
concurrently, right? Victor Semota put up something. So Aaron Levy, the CEO of Box, was talking about zero-sum thinking and that how do you balance like what AI would do versus like what you're still building, etc. But Asemota brought it to like local context for us, right? He says, "Thank you so much for this, Levy. This is my response to those who wonder why we should bother about AI in Nigeria when we should concentrate on infrastructure and electricity. Innovation is not a zero-sum outcome effort. It is about creating more abundance. Yes, we need infrastructure, but what if we get it by being much more productive and earning new income? With new working methods, the resource-based form of international trade that we currently engage in will probably become much more efficient. I think there's a lot of value locked up in ignorance about how the world works that AI can reveal. A friend told me that they reduced the number of outlets from 30 to 15 and doubled their revenue by applying AI models in Nigeria. The person who built it was a former employee who has made it a business. The most valuable input for AI is data. Electricity and compute resources are only needed when data is available. This problem exists in places where data is abundant now, and they are using those resources to refine models that may greatly benefit us when they become more efficient and demand fewer resources in the future. What we must do now is get our data and own it. The right policies help safeguard this. I have seen those in charge are not very good at communicating the benefits of starting this process early. It sounds like another white elephant project because it can easily become that without commitment to a sustainable strategy. There is a trust problem, but that does not mean we should not try or support those who are trying. This is the next frontier. We're either at the table or we're at the meal. I understand Asemota's point too. It makes a lot of sense. My issue is it almost feels like, oh, we find ourselves in this predicament because something happened and we're just here. You understand? But that's not what is happening. What is happening is that a group of people are actively sabotaging the developments. And so we will never fix electricity.
Yeah, because
you
people
understand?
are benefiting from the fact that Nigeria doesn't have power.
So we will never have, even when the data becomes available, right, we will never have electricity and the compute resources to be able to house that data.
Yeah.
That's just my issue. Like, there's something much more cynical going on that is sabotaging the progress. We don't have electricity just because we don't have electricity. It's not random. It is designed that way. That the country does not experience 24/7 electricity. It's not incompetence. Oh, no. We've seen it time and time again that when Nigeria wants to be competent about something, and usually it's around punishing or it's around getting stuff done that would benefit them. They become very efficient at it.
Lightning fast, lightning speed.
So there's that. If we could privatize telecommunications, why can't we do it with electricity in a way where it becomes efficient? So from the discos to the gencos, like just privatize everything.
I don't know, man. It's just, I don't know. At this point, it's just, I don't know what to say about electricity issue. It's beyond me at this point. I can't even articulate my own feelings about it.
And what hurts me most about the whole thing is you then see people that you sort of like believe are learned, right? And exposed and enlightened. And then they make some comments and you're like, this cannot be real. Like, you can't genuinely feel this way. You guys know Michael Taiwo?
No, who's that?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, so he's a director at an energy consulting company. He's also a consultant when it comes to like the EB1A and EB2 visas, etc, right? Okay. Yeah, it's very popular and it's quite popular on Twitter, right? He said something. He said, Nigeria may not have it all together, But if you have ever had to fund your education in a developed country, you understand what a privilege it is to study at home without student loans. like, like when people
What
say
an
this,
idiot.
do they genuinely feel this way?
Why?
Idiots.
This guy lives in the US, right?
He's an idiot.
I'm sure he's lived in Nigeria for some. Does it genuinely feel this way, or is all this just I'm part of the gang?
Anything that does not contribute to a better like societal like everything that does not like have like huge societal benefits shouldn't be praised as having like we not paying student loans or education being cheap in Nigeria is as a result of also like our ineffectiveness and incompetency and not properly planning our systems very well. If we want better education, right, which I know that Nigerians right now can now afford, it's just the reason we complain about education is because it's very cheap and not quality enough, and that's why it's cheap. If we want to like really improve our educational system and standards, it has to be very expensive, well funded, internally, right? And that's where student loans come into play, right? So it's not we having cheap education is not something that like the federal government, it's not a flex. It's not something that they deliberately set out to do to help us. No, it's just because of the inefficiencies that we have, and that's why it's cheap, So it's not a flex, to be very honest. Flex for what? If you're flexing for an education right now that can properly like that's not up to date, that's not trained, it doesn't keep up with trends and stuff like that.
Have you heard graduates speak? Have you heard graduates speak these days?
Telling me that it's cheap. Is that a flex?
The man said, understand what a privilege it is to study at home without student loans. Man, people are wicked. These guys are wicked.
Evil.
They're wicked, man. Oh, God. Anyways, let's just give you guys, we have a new segment. It's called In the News. We just give you straight bullet points of what is happening in news, since a lot of things are happening and people want to be updated. Just straight no chaser. Let's go. Ahmed Musa has excused himself from the Super Eagles camp to attend his wedding ceremony. He married his fourth wife, Asmao Moriki, last Friday. Congratulations to the skipper.
Can I have a question?
Yeah, please go ahead. Yeah.
What is Ahmed Musa still looking for in the Super Eagles?
I don't want you want Ayo wants me to say something. I'm not going to say it.
It's not like
Steve, go ahead. Our swan writer, please go ahead.
I understand if Ronaldo is in Portugal team, there might be a chance to win the World Cup.
I don't understand it, but go ahead.
But for Ahmed Musa, Super Eagles are not going to win the World Cup anytime soon.
Okay, for pure football reasons, he wants to continue to add caps and maybe goals to his records. That's it. If you want to give Ronaldo that grace, let's also give Ahmed Musa the grace.
But Ronaldo is a Ballon d'Or winner. I can give him that grace. I can't give Ahmed Musa that grace.
Ahmed Musa is Nigeria's highest goal scorer in the World Cup, so let's give him that grace.
See, no, do this thing. Nigerian records are terrible.
It's terrible. This is numbers. Like it's there. It's facts. He's the highest goal scorer. He's the highest Nigerian goal scorer in the World Cup. So
how many goals? 4 goals, right?
I don't know how many goals. I just know he's the highest.
4 goals.
I think it's 4. Yeah, it's 4.
Okay.
2 against Argentina, 2 against Ireland. I think
Iceland.
so. I can't remember.
Iceland.
Not Ireland. So that's true.
All right. The EFCC on Twitter is now offering a prize of 5,000 Naira worth of airtime. That is call airtime to people who can guess their EFCC quiz correctly. All right. This is what the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission in Nigeria, foremost anti-corruption. Well, I want to read to you the quizzes. The first quiz is: the full alias of a Nigerian cross-dresser who was recently convicted for Naira abuse is A. Terry Akpala, B. Cubana ChiefPriest, C. Bobrisky, D. Iyabo Ojo. Second question is: the name of the former governor who was successfully prosecuted by the EFCC and is convicted is A. Yahaya Bello, B. Willie Obiano, C. Peter Odili, D. Lucky Igbinedion. The third question is: from which account was the initial 50 billion Naira given to NEL Fund by the federal government for student loans? A. CBN account, B. EFCC's account domiciled in CBN, C, Ministry of Finance account. D, IPPIS accounts. And the fourth question is, which section of the EFCC Establishment Act forbids the public from giving false information to officers of the commission? And then you have A to D, different sections. See, people are jobless.
And
we need jobs.
Can EFCC just do their job?
I like the idea, just that the delivery itself is not, the execution has not been, it's not top notch. But they're trying to like engage with young people on Twitter, maybe grow their social media numbers, whatever it is.
Then they should hire people like us. We'll give them culture consultancy fee. It's not hard.
I understand. That's why I said the execution. The problem is in the execution, but I understand the intention.
This is just lazy.
The FBI used the CIA did this thing the CIA did one thing one time when they were really like commenting on the culture, like having like cultural, making cultural comments. Remember when they said, "Oh no, we didn't, we didn't kill Tupac," something like that. Like, so it's just that the execution of the ASC is just like really, really terrible.
Work with people who can design proper content if you want to engage people, right? First of all, you guys have a brand. Bro, we all knew it was somebody that I know, and I believe Ayo also knows the person as well. When he left the company, he was one handling their social media contacts, right? Their Twitter account, right? We know this guy. He was a rapper. I think he still raps, from time to time, right? And when he left, what happened? That's when all this rubbish happened now. He was able to clean up the EFCC brand on social media to the point where people followed the account and even enjoyed some of the content they delivered, right? It's just.
I used to like that showcase your hustle, something like that. There's a contest where young people just talk about what they do, hustle. Like you see plumbers, you see mechanics, you see like what people just talking about a legit hustle, which was really good. And it was that guy that did it too. Just as this execution is just like really poor,
Shout out to F. Shaw. Canada has denied asylum to a Yoruba nation leader, Ayola Oke, after a prolonged legal battle. So man said, man, they were trying to take his life and his family's life, because he set up Yoruba nation. Well, interestingly, he was living in South Africa. So he also said he had issues in South Africa as well. But Canada said, nope, we don't believe you. You need more people. And wish him and his family all the best. The Ekiti State Government has officially declared a ban on smoking in both private and public gatherings across all 16 local government areas of the state. It's a welcome idea. I like it.
I love it.
Well, how does it a welcome idea? It's infringement of, like, I don't understand, of people's rights.
Smoking in public areas.
Yeah. Do you understand? In public
smoking.
In private and public gatherings, smoking in private and public gatherings.
What does that mean?
You can smoke alone. When two or more people are gathered, you can't smoke around them.
Yeah.
So if I'm in a bar with my friends, I can't smoke.
Private and public, yes, that's a private gathering, and you can't smoke. You can't smoke. So if you want to smoke, go to your house.
So where do we draw the line? What if tomorrow they say you can't drink alcohol in private and public? So where do you draw the line?
I think this is. Sorry, do you want to answer that?
Okay, they can't tell you about alcohol because when you drink alcohol, it's only your system that is going to. But for cigarettes, nicotine actually affects people who are around them also. So that is why it's not allowed.
Was that the reason? Was it for health reasons?
Obviously,
it's for health reasons.
Yeah, that's why you do.
Are you people sure? Can you please read that report to confirm that it's for health reasons?
Lead researcher. I read the reports.
Okay.
Wow. But while I was reading the reports, something in my head was just saying somebody pissed off from BAT or somewhere, just pissed off. As the sorting has not happened, so they are putting pressure on cigarette sellers.
Yeah, on cigarette sellers.
That was just my cynical mind going off that, okay, you will never sort for this year. We'll put into that will hamper your sales.
Face me and face you in my house. I'm in my house. My own apartment smoking, and it gets because of the air.
That's not a public gathering. It's not a private or public gathering. Yeah, okay. That's not your fault.
Okay.
Right. So it was the State Commissioner of Health that said The smoke-free Ekiti project is crucial for shielding non-smokers from secondhand smoke, shifting social norms around tobacco use, and easing the long-term healthcare burden on the states. I like it. Do you understand? Maybe they've found data and they said, okay, this is what secondhand smoke has done for XYZ. This is the number of reports we've had over the years. All right, how do we mitigate this issue? Let us reduce the number of secondhand people that can inhale secondhand smoke, and then let's look at the long-term impact of that. I like it. I like it. I love it.
It's actually good.
Yeah, and it was the commemoration of the World No Tobacco Day 2025, and they partnered with the Corporate Accountability and Public Participation Africa Group. So shout out to them.
I want to say that.
Yes.
I want to say that I don't know, like the tobacco industry has they've been resilient because they are battle tested, because they've defeated, like they've won. For them to still exist at this point, it means that for them to still exist, it means that their lobbying game is strong, and they just don't want to go away, because the constant, there's been the pushbacks over the tobacco industry has been really, really, really big and influential, but for some reason
they can't still go.
They can't still go, so that is I'm surprised.
It's a multi-billion-dollar industry. It's not going anywhere.
It is.
Yeah, it's not going anywhere, guys. Okay, in other news, WAEC Nigeria has released a statement on the delayed conduct for the English exams in their recently held WASSCE. I don't know, guys, if you guys have been following that.
Yeah.
It's the state in the north, right? Yeah.
So
WAEC Torchlights, yeah.
Which is the West African Examination Council, every year holds the West African Senior School Certificate Examinations, right? And then they test you in 4 core subjects: English, Maths, Social Studies, Science, etc.
It's now 4 core subjects, not 5.
Well, they said 4 core subjects here. No, but you need to pass. You need to pass 6, Nabi. The grading system is... For admissions, you need to have 5 courses, yes, with at least C6.
Mm-hmm.
And C6 is ranging from a credit score of 3, which ranges between 50 and 54. Anyways, they released a statement regarding the delayed conduct of the English examination. Let me just read it to you quickly. It says the WAEC acknowledges the challenges currently being faced during the conduct of the WASSCE for second school candidates 2025, including the delay in the timely conduct of English language paper 2, which was taken today. While maintaining the integrity and security of our examination, we face considerable challenges, primarily due to our major aim of preventing leakage of any paper. While we successfully achieved our objective, it inadvertently impacted the timeliness and seamless conduct of the examination. Despite our best efforts, we encountered logistical hurdles, security concerns, and cultural factors that negatively influenced our operations. In order to forestall future occurrences with the nature, the Council is currently collaborating with security agencies. We recognize the importance of timely conduct of examinations and the impact of the decision on the candidates, their schools, their parents, and we sincerely apologize for the inconveniences caused. You know what is funny? You know the way they say timely, the exam didn't hold on time. You think it was meant to start at 3 and started at 4. No, guys. An exam that was meant to start in the morning ended up taking place around 10 o'clock at night. An exam that was made, some people even wrote at past midnight. Some people didn't, because the schools didn't have power. Again, infrastructure, no power. They had to buy candles and light their desks with candles to write their exam under that duress. And those guys are going to be scored with the same attributes or parameters. Somebody in another school comfortably wrote their exams.
Do you know why you should be grateful?
Why?
Free education.
Nigga, the shit is not even free. What are you talking about?
It's cheap.
But they don't pay loans.
It's cheap. You don't use loans, yeah.
It's cheap.
Always learn how to appreciate your country, so I think
Michael
Anyways, this is in fast. I'm not going to even rant on it. Suspended Rivers State Governor Sim Fubara has said Tinubu acted with wisdom in declaring emergency rule in River States. They've beaten that one to submission.
Easily.
Before Uncle.
Yeah. Tinubu needs Delta and Port Harcourt and Rivers to ensure
the South
next election. He can't rig Delta, but I don't feel he can be. Let's see how it goes.
Okay.
He needs 25%. That's all.
Yeah.
Akwa Ibom governor's daughter accuses her father of sacrificing the late first lady. Alleges threat to life. I don't know if you guys saw those videos. But I'm just going to keep it moving. Also, in Akwa Ibom, a personal assistant to the governor has appointed his own personal assistant.
The PA gotta get a PA, bro.
Yeah, so congratulations to the office of personal assistant. He says in the press release, put out a press release on the government of Akwa Ibom State of Nigeria's. In fact, he has the office of the personal assistant, so he has his own letterhead. It says, in line with the Arise agenda of the governor, His Excellency Pastor Omuo Eno, the personal assistant to the governor, Elder Ubong Akai, has approved the appointment of the following persons: Mr. Ubong Intukidem, Miss Bright Edoho, Mr. Insikan Aniete Ekpo. This appointment takes effect from June 1st, 2025. Congratulations to all involved.
I don't know about you guys, but this is a brilliant chain of opportunity, right? Like someone has an opportunity from the morning he's earning from there, he's giving other people opportunities. You know, that's how I see it. So make everybody just the chop to go. At least that's what they are there. Nobody's pretending they're there to do any work, not just to chop. So.
All right, before we go into what is happening in pop culture, let us tell you what happened this week in history. All right, this week in history, this week being June 2nd to June 8th, Kudirat Abiola was assassinated. On June 4, 1996, Kudirat Abiola was shot to death in her car on the streets of Lagos.
To death.
Her killing was widely linked to the outspoken opposition to General Sani Abacha's military regime and her campaign to free her husband, MKO Abiola, who had been imprisoned after claiming victory in the annulled June 12, 1993 presidential election. In 2012, Abacha's former chief security officer, Hamza Al-Mustafa, and Kudirat's personal assistant, Lateef Shofolayan, were convicted of her murder and sentenced to death by hanging. Both men were released the following year after a court of appeal in Lagos overturned the verdicts. Reading these parts, there's a part in Soldiers of Fortune, right? The 1993 to 2003 book written by Max Solon. There's a part there where he dedicates like a chapter, almost a chapter, to the killing spree. This is when Abacha was in full paranoia mode, right? And had put together, of course, his CSO Al-Mustafa put together a squad. What were they called?
Hit squad.
The hit squad, right? This hit squad was led by somebody called Sergeant Rogers, later known as codename Sergeant Rogers, later known as Sergeant Matthias, right? Sergeant Rogers led this squad, and bro, you read this part and it's like you're watching a movie. You're watching The Godfathers, and they will go and carry, or The Last Dawn, where they go and carry out a hit on someone. From Kudirat Abiola, and let's focus on her, right? She was coming from that Magodo area, that 7-Up area. That's where they attacked her.
Yeah.
And you don't survive stuff like that.
Bro.
You don't survive. You don't survive stuff like that.
2 people survived.
The personal assistants.
And the driver.
No, I'm talking about other attempts. Not
Okay.
That's the Guardian newspaper publisher at the time.
Alex Ibu.
Yes.
And
he lost an eye.
Yeah, he lost an eye. Yeah.
And they had to rush him abroad that same day.
Yeah. He lost an eye. Abraham Adesoya, yes, I mean his own. They said his own was another level. Because I hear that he jumped on his driver to protect his driver from the bullets, But that's another level.
Mendy.
Mendy.
I think the funniest question I've seen people ask about this Abacha like killing spree was that like, a lot of the targets were not really that careful. And my only response was that
nobody had gone this
they
far.
didn't they didn't know how far. They thought they were dealing with a human, like someone who had like emotions, or they didn't know how far this guy was going to go. So I think that man took everyone by surprise.
See,
with the killing spree that he went
Steve,
on.
that time in Lagos, when all those killings happened, that's when we knew that shit got real.
Yeah, shit got real.
You could see to your parents' faces that Omo, we've entered a dispensation. This we never seen this kind of war before. People were arrested away from their homes, put in detention center. Some were never seen again. They just killing people left, right, and center. Like, bro,
what's the name of the person that was assassinated in his home? They spoke his language, so they opened the door thinking that they were his from
He's a journalist, Abi?
No,
was in Ikeja.
No, not Pajasin.
No, not Pajasin.
He lived in Ikeja
They went to his house, inside his house, and spoke his language. The house
Alfred Rwani.
Thank you, Alfred Rwani. Freedom fighter, human rights activist. Yeah.
Bro, they killed him in his house.
Yeah.
Someone, the way they broke it down, like someone said, like killers belonging to the Sicilian Costa Nostra. 5 men alighted from the belly of the car. They approached the sentry, telling him that they had come to see the landlord to deliver an important message from Life Flour Mill Sapele. Pariwane is the owner of the company. They shoved the document to the gate man's face. Pronto, he creaked open the gate, right? And the men entered. The domestic staffer was on his way upstairs to inform the chief that he had some guests. 2 of the men clambered upstairs with the aide. The others held the 2 chief's doctors hostage, while the others were busy upstairs with the landlord. The assailants pumped bullets into his body. He died. Bro.
And the man died.
But let's focus on Kudirat Abiola and how strong this woman is. This is the first example, apart from my mother, where I see a woman go beyond, I'm a woman, I'm helpless. This woman was strong. This woman was in our time, that's what I'm saying. I experienced in my time, right? Growing up. This woman was strong. We would read Tell magazine and her comments, her quotes. Reading this book again, when Abiola was arrested, she didn't want to be separated from him. She spat at the policeman. She was that hardcore. Her husband was locked up by military dictators, and she kept advocating for the release, and not just the release, right? But the announcement that he had won the elections, like his mandate. And she did that all up to the time where she was murdered.
Crazy.
And it's crazy. You know what is crazier? What is crazier is that we don't have any of our filmmakers attempting to tell her story, because, and that's why in Nigeria, when we always try and do this thing of, we're great people. No, we're just a bunch of cowards, all of us. That's what we are.
People shy away from the Abacha story.
That's what we are. We're just a bunch of cowards, all of us, right? Because nobody can tell this story because it's going to step on some other people's toes, and everybody just wants to be easy because they want to be cool with the elite or the political elite and make some money, and everything is just nice and dandy, while we all just complain on the side that things are not working. But the fact that this happened in 1996, right? 29 years ago. And we don't have one movie that's telling a story. But we have people who did movies on 76, right? We have people who did movies on Ibrahim Babangida Gbadamosi. And we have and we have somebody who even attempted to tell a slave trader story. But nobody can tell this woman's story.
Nobody financed that film.
We're all just a bunch of cowards.
I think from the filmmaking aspects, from the filmmaking industry, people, from what I've heard, people shy away from telling stories about Abacha and during that time period because, according to them, many of the actors, when I say actors, I don't mean film actors, many of the people involved on the side of Abacha are still alive today. There was a filmmaker in the late 90s or early 2000s that did a film, a political thriller that resembled the story of Abacha, right? And that guy knew what he suffered till today. So I think people shy away from that. But apart from that, I think the events of, or the rule of Abacha from 93 to 98, I guess that's when he ruled for 5 years, should still be told. nonetheless. And it takes people who understand storytelling and what it does to a country and a generation. It inspires people to come out and do this. It's also a skill issue, right? If you cannot shoot a comedy well or a drama well, bro, you cannot shoot a political thriller well, or you don't even understand it. So that's that.
Well done, Aya. Well done, Aya. That was well
Thank
said.
you.
Well done.
But when I have to do my own, please, you people, you pay for my security guard and everything. I'm a bouncer, so
just send the checks for Sags.
Okay, I'll send it to
just send it to him.
All right.
I'll send it to him.
Send it to Steve. What does it mean send it to Sags? Please let me continue with this week in history. This week in history, Salawa Abeni toured Europe, right? On June 4, 1966, Salawa Abeni left Lagos with her 18-member band for England on her first European tour. Her group was built to perform in major cities in England, Wales, Scotland, Belgium, Germany, Italy, France, and the Netherlands. If you don't know who Salawa Abeni is, you have
1966.
You have a lot of learning to do. What? Sorry? Yeah,
what
1996. 1996.
For fear 1996. Yeah.
When they born first.
For fear.
If you don't know who Salawa Abeni is, she is a Nigerian singer, mostly in the space of a genre called waka music.
Waka music.
She basically began her professional career in waka music. Her debut album was titled Late General Murtala Ramat Mohammed, which released in 1976. Of course, man, I'm a big fan of Salawa Abeni. I think Ayo is as well. A lot of people, some people we know. And yeah, man, such an amazing person, amazing singer. Also in the middle of one of the hottest rival romances that ever happened between the Fuji legends,
Kollington Barrister.
Sorry, thank you. Kollington and Ayinde Barrister.
You know her story?
Yes, I think you said it on the podcast.
She was discovered as a prodigy, very young. I don't think she was up to 10. I think her first album came when she was 11 or so. So the man she signed to later ended up marrying her.
Yes,
and they later got divorced in the 80s or so. Very interesting woman.
Very, very interesting woman. You guys can check out more things that happened this week in history on archiving archivi.ng. Discover history as it happened. Thousands of newspaper clips you guys can go and explore. If you really want to learn about your country, have a lot of context, right? Just go there, read, do some Googles, and just learn about your country. Learn about what happened in your state. So many things to learn about, right? I learn things every day. Oh, this happened. Oh, that happened. You know, It's amazing how much I don't know, how much we don't know about, our beloved country. Before we get into the pop culture side of things, let's go on one musical break just to rinse our palates. Yeah. And then when we come back, I'll tell you about birthday dinner I went to and some really good steak I had.
Oh, nice.
This is Ikechuku. Naija boy.
In the building, Storm Records. Hip Hop 101 to take over part 1. Yeah, the game change, evolution in play. Storm Riders in the building with the A to the K. Yeah, the takeover without the Rockefeller. You talk about Papa fella, no need to explain. Yeah, I gotta give my respect to the G's. Mode 9 got them crawling on knees. Holla back if you see what I see. Freestyling is a part of it. You can't cope, ain't got no part in it. And like Joe, let them know how to spit game, top of the dome. No written, just free play. Taking back to remedial classes. Vision getting really blurry, now they needing some glasses. Yeah, no spectacles, but I'm spectacular. Keep it flowing fluid, even in vernacular. Yeah, back of the truck or back of the crib, the BQ, back of the bus or under the bridge. I am the Naija boy, walking in the place to be. Hip hop is inside my blood. That's why the storm is running with me, running with me. I am the Naija boy, conquer everywhere that I go. I said hip hop's inside my blood. That's ain't got it, then you need to check your status. Yeah, hip hop 101, no doubt. E kills and I'm going that route. Now check it out, I got an AK-47 for my tongue. I need to modify my level so that y'all get sprung. You want a battle? I'll let you know it's bad for your health. You better fly it on my radar like you fly in stealth. Matter of fact, I let my young bucks have a feast. World famous in your anus from the belly of the beast. Rest in peace. But let me ask a question. How you hip hop and forget to mention where it all began? In the eye of the storm, it's like a baby with no mama on the day he was born. You're looking to form, so we can settle out of court. Might as well forget about your ship reaching its port.
I am the Niger boy, walking in
To be, yes, yo, that was from EK Chukwu, aka Kills, aka E Kills, from his debut 2006 album, Son of the Soil. Name of that record is Niger Boy. Yes, yo. Did you guys come across this crazy story? Right? This story, Steve, this story is crazy. And I wanted us to just quick comment on it, nothing more, just jump on it, give our quick comments and go. Right? Someone posted this on the Proud Black Fathers group on Facebook. Says, I need to get something off my chest. Yesterday, my stepdaughter graduated and I wasn't invited. I've been in her life since she was 4 months old. Married her mother when she turned 2. I've been there, consistent, showing up, providing, loving her like my own. But come on graduation day, I wasn't given a seat. Like word, they told me there were only 8 tickets. Let me tell you who made the list. My wife, her 2 sisters, her biological dad, her uncle, her grandma, her aunt, and her boyfriend. 8 tickets, and I wasn't one of them. I've been sitting with that pain all day. I took time off work, 3 days gone. I drive trucks. That's money and time I can't get back. And still, I got left out. So today, I made some decisions. I removed her from my car and health insurance, took her off everything I've been covering, told her mother since she's grown and graduated, she can go and stay with her father, the one that made room for over me. Now there's tension in my house, emotions are high, but I'm standing on what I feel because the truth is I'm so hurt. Not mad, just deeply, genuinely hurt. I don't need applause. I just needed to speak my truth. Thanks for listening. Steve and Ayo, I need your thoughts. Who wants to go first?
Ayo, please. On Twitter. Man, on my life, no be film. It's wild though that after taking care of your stepdaughter for 16, 17 years, and on our biggest educational day in terms of our educational achievements, he doesn't have a seat at our graduation. And look at the number of people, look at the caliber of people there, the type of people there. I understand the family members, you can understand the boyfriend, but the stepdad, I mean the biological father, man, I don't know. So what this man failed to indicate was if his stepdaughter and her father still have a cordial relationship, or is like a deadbeat father or something. If it's not and everything is still okay, then I think the wife messed up big time, because I don't think you need 2 of your aunties there. 1 auntie is enough. She represents the whole aunties in the whole family. I think the man should have been there. I can't blame him for reacting the way he reacted. Human beings were emotional, and him doing that, he may later regret his actions or may later reverse them. But he just felt that he was betrayed, that all these years of me being like a father to this young lady and, taking care of her, being there, the financial efforts he's put into her. And to be crazy if, she didn't even go to university on a scholarship, but he had to pay some sort of payments for her and he couldn't go for her graduation. Then he's entitled to feel the way, way he feels. And he has his right to react any way he wants to react at the end of the day. So yeah, but that's the messed up story, Sha. I ain't gonna lie.
Thank you very much, Ayo. Steve, what's your submission?
It's allowed to feel anyway he's supposed to feel. He has his own personal emotion on how he feels about it. He feels like really betrayed. I think that's it for me. But when I saw the story, I didn't overly put much thought into it because I didn't believe it. But now that you asked, I think he should. Any action he takes is fine with me. But just that maybe there's some extreme cases removing her from like insurance or so. But apart from that, they're all good.
I thought Steve was going to go nuclear on this.
No.
I actually thought you were going to go nuclear on this. No, but what is crazy work is the wife made it, the two sisters made it, the biological dad made it, the uncle made it, the grandma made it, the aunt made it, the boyfriend made it.
They don't rate the guy at all.
They don't rate him actually.
And it's not the girl's fault. It's the fault of the mom.
Everybody, a lot of people pointed to the mom.
Yeah, it is.
Like I said, it's the mom.
Yeah,
this from
it's the mom.
Yeah.
It's the mom. Yeah. So
you gotta read the room.
You gotta read the room, and someone that will make sure that the girl even is graduating. Like, it's just cause he just demands that you just do the right thing. But it is what it is.
Yeah. All right, man. Steve said he doesn't believe the story. Well, talking about stories not to believe, because it's Nollywood anyways. Nollywood actor Zubby Michael kicked another actor in the chest on the set of a movie, right? While they were acting. And he's been rushed to the hospital due to internal bleeding. They said the way he kicked him sent him flying to the ground. There was a video. I don't know if you guys watched the video.
I saw the video.
Mind you, the kick was not planned between the actors and the directors. So this was Zubby Michael basically improvising. If you don't know who Zubby Michael is, if you've watched Shantytown, he's the guy that keeps screaming, "Body they pepper me! Body they pepper me!"
The height of acting.
That's him. The name of the actor who was kicked and had internal bleeding is Godwin Nnamdiekwe. He's been hospitalized, after the unscripted kick. We're wishing him all the best.
Shout out to my industry.
Then again, someone, just thinking about the whole thing, it can just be PR for the movie.
It could be, because when I saw that video, I didn't see any cameras.
They did mention did they mention the video, the title of the movie?
No, they didn't.
Oh, okay. So why would it be PR for a movie that they didn't mention the name?
But when you
that's not they do PR for Nollywood.
When people know they dance for road now. Let's remain again.
Okay, in other celebrity news, some of our very popular celebrities, including Davido, Cubana ChiefPriest, and Ubi Franklin, paid a visit to the Aso Villa, Aso Rock itself, right? To see President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, right? So there's a video of Davido introducing.
Videos.
Oh, there are videos. Yeah, multiple videos. Of course, I think a day before on the same day, earlier in the day, or maybe later in the day, I don't know. They had met the vice president as well, Vice President Shettima, and we saw a video of Cubana ChiefPriest kneeling on both knees. Kneeling on both knees. And those pictures went viral. Anyways, in this video, Davido says to the president, they are both your members, sir. They are APC. And Ubi Franklin then tells President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, "Oh, sir, I went to 15 states with you during the campaign in 2023. And of course, P-Bat says, very good, very good. We succeeded and we made it to the presidency. And Cubana ChiefPriest then told Bola Ahmed Tinubu, sir, we will succeed again in 2027.
You're making these videos more entertaining than
the actual videos. Yeah, I watched them a couple of times, just watch the body language, see the other people who aren't popular, they're in the videos, see some very popular faces, see everybody's wearing a certain color and size of cap and everything. These are the things that kind of interest me at times, But it's also good to see how, I like it, how people are very open about their support for their presidential candidates. I don't like the two-timers. I don't like the two-faced people. Just come and say, this is what you're doing. Let everybody know. That's what we are. Yes.
Reminder.
When did the scammers are out? When did the series start?
A few weeks ago, maybe like 3-4 weeks.
In 2025, a young street philosopher, Osagie and Steve Dede, started a series called "The Scammers Are Out." But initially, Osagie, I think you've forgotten the essence of this series.
What's the essence of this
series? What started this series was that the presidency, that who we have
Yes.
as the president has made the scammers to be out. Also, it
Yes,
seems to have forgotten that part.
that's the whole context now. That
That's
once
the
he came in,
context.
the ground it became
The
the
ground,
playground.
everybody-
That's it. The scammers are back, guys.
The scammers are back, guys.
Steve,
Yes, boss.
for
Yes.
this way you talk, you go down to it.
The scammers
No,
are
no,
back.
no.
I think what Steve said went over my head, but I don't know.
So I should greet you guys. Yeah. I saw him a few weeks ago. Ubi. So I should greet you guys. Shout out to you guys.
Oh, shout out to Franklin, man. That's I remember he tried to hire me once. Shout out to Ubi. Yeah, he had a lot
He
of
tried
money
to
there.
hire
And that was like the peak of Nyaya. They had made a lot of money. So Sagi, come and work for me. What are you doing at Pulse? Come and work for me.
Was it? No, it can't be at pause because at pause, yeah, don't they?
No, 2014. I just moved.
You had moved. Okay,
yeah, just moved.
Okay.
So what are you doing? Where? Pause. Come and work for me. What's wrong with you?
But he actually hired somebody here. Women's representative.
Yes, he did. He worked for him as a staff. As a staff. Anyways, Cubana ChiefPriest put a picture up of him kneeling and bowing towards the Vice President Shettima and said, all of a sudden, they love me so much that they are so hot that CP knelt down for presidency. Well, me, I know say no be waiting then they really pain them. Una waiting they pain una be say, why is it always CP? So funny how na me they kneel down for presidency, but now una leg the pain. Man, I like that bar. That was a bar. Say now me they kneel down, but na leg na in the pain. No, that was a bar. They said now so una abuse them till they became the presidency. Now so una go abuse me till I become waiting day my mind to become.
Wow. It's on the arc.
It says una abuse una blessings. Una they abuse una blessings in disguise. Or una abuse na blessings in disguise. I understand this game now better. The ones you people show fake love, shower fake praises, and overhype keep losing. I feel super comfortable on the feet of Ashiwaju and Shettima. Don't forget, the symbol is the broom. Together, they can never break us. On our mandate, PBAT, CP shall kneel, stand, walk, dance, sleep, grow, and explore.
Minister of Nightlife.
Hashtag CP no small.
At all.
Oh, but this is long, good. This speech long.
AKA, and let me add my AKA money na water.
Money na water.
Are you sure it's money na water? I think what fits best is belle na water.
Well,
you don't.
it depends.
Nobody shame.
Okay.
It depends. So I just want to give you an update on who has been visiting CP and people should not be mad or people who are going to see Tinubu. Excuse me. In Jonathan's era, every 5 working days, Nollywood establishments were going to visit the president.
Scantily dressed. I mean,
a veteran
in fact, a Nollywood director did a whole movie, and she was her tatas were out.
Yes,
her husband was there. Her tatas were out.
That's a freak off.
That's a presidential freak off. Her tatas were out. The president was like, "Is this necessary?"
That reminds me.
Let me look for that picture.
A veteran broadcaster asked one of our top screen goddesses that it has been rumored that you've been seen at Asowak Villa at ungodly hours.
Jesus Christ.
Our screen goddess was flummoxed. She was short of words. Shout out to nobody like Nollywood past Jonathan.
You gave them a 10 billion naira something fund or something like that.
Now, only 3 movies come out from that fund.
You chop money from that fund.
I know see you.
I
know one actress that chop money from that fund. I don't think that film ever came out.
Oh, wow.
I have got that chop money now.
I never chop. What this creative fund where they do? I go chop money for mama. No agree.
You don't know that one, Abi?
There's a creative fund that there are heavy bad inside now.
Okay.
All the best. Okay, on today's episode of this might not happen every week, but once in a while when we see it, we'll catch it. On today's this week's episode of Follow Who Know Road. Follow Who Know Road. Okay. Do you guys know who Fisayo Lunga is?
Oh yes.
Are you asking me or are you asking the audience?
I'm not. I'm asking you here.
Of course, we know Fisaya Longena. Like, why
Okay,
are you asking this
fantastic. For those who don't know, right? She's a entrepreneur. She's the founder of Kai Collective, a widely renowned brand. She is hardworking. The what you call it? The brand, the collection she's put out, amazing. There's one very iconic one. You know, the one with the like the bodysuits with the whole colors meshing together. I don't know how to describe it. You guys can Google it. But like when it comes to her stuff, she knows her stuff, right? Used to be a former auditor at KPMG before she went and started her own thing. I think she's based in the UK. Boom, big. She put up an Instagram post on her Instagram storage or so, right? And it became a talking point. Very interesting one. And this is why it is our first entry. It's for the first ever Follow Who No Go Road series. She said, my mom, right? That is, my mom said, a woman told me that she's upset that you influence girls like her daughter not to get married and then you went and got engaged. Then she said, does her daughter make several million dollars a year? Then her mom said, I don't know. I don't think so. Then she said back to her mom, okay, then I'm clearly not that influential to her daughter. Then Fisaya Longer goes and says, critical thinking skills is at an all-time low. If you've raised the sort of daughter who based such a huge life decision on a stranger on the internet, expressing her doubt about marriage, which still very much exists, by the way, LOL, but let's never talk about that again because most of you don't deserve any type of nuanced thoughts. Then you must or you might want to check your parenting skills. I'm actually not a nice girl, so let's respect ourselves if we don't want disrespect. Very interesting comments, if you ask me, right? So if you don't understand, and this is I'm dying to hear what Steve has to say about this because he's always commented about this. Guys, in the woke era, and it's still happening till now, you have a bunch of people who continue to express their thoughts and try to guide a lot of people. This usually happens in the female space.
Yeah.
Young women who are, again, young and not experienced 100% of life, who make brash decisions and comments and tweets and build a whole brand of it and start to lead a group of young girls who aspire to be like them, and they're excited, so they encourage those girls some more because those girls give them more engagement. But see, life then happens, and then you realize that people that have been trying to explain to you that life is bigger than what you are seeing, you then understand. But now you can't backtrack on the stuff you said. So instead of backtracking on the stuff you said, you now tell them that these people that listen to you, that became your evangelists, that they have low critical thinking skills.
Exactly.
Or
without admitting that you also had it in the past.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And it's crazy, right?
Yeah, it's
to
crazy.
even think that way. And I also like when people say things like, someone quoted the tweet and said, after they radicalize you, they'll turn around to blame you for listening to them.
And broke shame you again.
And then they were calling you broke.
It broke, exactly.
They'll mock you.
Exactly.
Yes, sir.
It's just so wide. And bro, when this thing like
Let me say one more,
Okay,
Steve.
please
Someone
go.
says, if you tell a Nigerian that they are wrong on something, they'll do research, not on whether you are right or wrong, but on
It's
whether
on
you
your
are richer
financial-
than them or not.
Yes. To
If they
first
are richer than
understand-
you, then they will
Yeah.
broke shame you. How do you
That's
tell your
it.
mom, oh, does her daughter make
the
several
person make
million
$1
dollars a
million,
year?
yeah.
Oh, no, I don't think so. Then I'm clearly not that
Exactly.
influential to her. Then would you go and
Exactly.
sit down? Go and
Yeah,
take
sit
several
down
seats.
then.
Because
You
she's
have
a
a
matter.
certain opinion about something. You've grown up and understood that it's
And
not
you-
black and
yes.
white. It's all gray.
Yeah.
Instead of you to
Yeah.
backtrack on it and say, hey, man, I'm more matured now and I've learned this. And these are my experiences. And then share it with younger people. What do?
Uh-huh.
You call them broke
Yeah,
and say they
call
have
them
low
broke.
critical thinking
Brokers.
skills.
Brokers.
Keys.
Yeah.
Keys.
It's just, and you know, like we saw this coming. Like I remember when, for example, like that woke era on Twitter where you make a comment that they don't like and they just they just come at you, you know, they threaten your job, they try to like message, tweet at your boss or whatever it is. And I was like, you know what? It's fine. I give it 5 years and the opposite will start happening. Like you raise an army of the opposite opinion. And that's what has happened now, where woke people are now the ones who are hiding on Twitter. on social media. They don't control. Yes, now they don't control like the social consciousness again. Like what is cool. They're not the control of what's socially accepted and what's socially cool. Right now, everything goes right. The same thing as remember when we're like 5 years ago, 6 years ago, we saw them radical the females who were on social media propagating until marriage content, like anti men content, and I'm like, you know what? Just give it 5 years. They'll be matured and they'll be seeking lifetime partners, and we'll see the change of opinions. And this has also happened. So everything we saw this thing coming. I remember we'll just be in the office at pause and we'll just be laughing at some of the opinions that we hear, that we see on Twitter. So it is what it is.
Frame Chick 11 says, laughing my ass out. This is the funniest thing I've read today and underpins a few realities about life, especially as regards Nigerians. Number one, after gelling them on social media, you will have to think for yourself and live with whatever choices you make. More reason to interrogate these philosophies you high-five on social media. If and when Yawa gasses, you're on your own. They didn't ask you to be influenced. Number two, you can count on privileged Nigerians to throw the "I'm richer than you" rhetoric when it's time to be called to accountability. Yeah, so that's it, guys. I just wanted to let you guys know, follow who know road, okay? And speaking about follow who know road and all of that, there was also a discussion on freezing your eggs. This is women. I think, what's the name of that something diary chick that married the guy that dances and changes clothes on Instagram?
Oh, yeah. The diary of a Niger chick or something. Niger
yeah, something. Something like
that's
that, right?
That's her.
Yeah.
Dan.
Yeah. So she put out a video, right, where she talked about freezing her eggs. She's getting older. She's lucky she freezed her eggs earlier, etc, etc. And then it became a very interesting topic because people were talking about it, right? And of course, our favorite doc had something to say about it because we were like, oh, this is misinformation. How can you say this? It's not as easy as that, blah, blah, blah. People were also talking about the pricing and all of that, right? Doc
Which
said
is
something.
for good reasons because it's expensive. It's not the reality of the average Nigerian.
Exactly.
Average human self.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So Doc said, freezing your eggs is not a silver bullet. If you want to have kids, the best biological time to have them is in your late teens to early 20s. Leave it much later and then you're battling against your biology all the way. That's what Doc said. Now, someone on Twitter, I don't know if you know Renike. She's a
of course,
multi-talented artist,
yeah.
A fantastic artist, right? She then quotes his tweet and says, "This is dangerous and false information and shouldn't still be up," right?
Yeah.
So she says that. Then everybody now says, okay, do you want to expatiate on that?
No, they don't expatiate.
Yeah, they don't expatiate on that.
It's always an emotional outburst.
It's dangerous and false information and it shouldn't still be up. And that was
Can you give us the real information?
Yes. Can you give us some context as why you're saying that nothing?
No.
Radio silence, cemetery silence, library silence, right? So Dirk Neto comes back. Of course. So see, he's a doctor.
He studied in school. He went to school.
Like he's a doctor, right? He's an health tech entrepreneur.
Researching,
right? He's worked in company, community. He's built stuff, right?
This is his thing,
This is his shit, right?
Yeah.
He then says, anyone that interacts with me regularly here knows I'm always open to learning. Can anyone please share a reputable reference that confirms that a woman's late teens to early 20s is not the best biological time to have a kid? I'd love to update my knowledge. Guess what? There was radio silence, cemetery silence, library silence.
Yep.
Only one person put up a tweet in the comment section corroborating what Doc said, which is, don't mind them, you don't need to delete your tweet. And then put up a histogram of a chart of fertility rate per cycle in percentage against what? Estimated female fertility by age, natural conception per cycle. The chart peaked at age 19. because they started from 15 and then it starts to go up. The chart, when you are age 19, that's when it peaks, right? And that is over 25% fertility rate per cycle. And guess when it starts to drop? Again, it starts to drop at 29. So at 15 and 29, it's at 15% fertility rate per cycle. So it means that from 19 all the way to 29 is the best time for you to do what? If you want to conceive a child, that is the best time. Again, let's go back to what Doc said. What did Doc say again? Let me just try and remember before someone said it was dangerous and false. He said, if you want to have kids, the best biological time to have them is in your late teens to early 20.
So this is where comprehension is needed. He said, if you want to have kids, it's not as saying, oh, this is what the man say. If you want, you can say you don't want to, or you can say you want it later. But if you know you want to have it early, this is the time for you to have it. Based not off his emotion or patriarchy, but medical science, that men and women spent years of their time in research to find out, you know. But I guess wokeness doesn't know about that one. And it's not saying that
I think is just, let me tell you, I'm sorry. Ayo, go.
So lastly, it's not like an indictment on female choices or I say, oh, you want to anything. It's just saying, according to medical science that I studied, though, this is the best time, right? And, you know, that's all.
Thank you, Steve.
It's just people who are woke for no reason, one. And it's just an emotional response. And when you are emotionally like invested and responding to things, you're not backed by nuance, by data, by logic. Do you get? I understand why someone might have a problem with Doc Neto's tweets, right? You can come out and say, yes, we understand that this is scientifically really like backed and it's proven. There's a way you state it that looks like you're encouraging, you know, child marriage or whatever it is in the context of like the cultural context of Nigerian rural communities. While you can, there's a way you can have those arguments like that, but it's not you can't have it with Doc Neto on Twitter that is coming out to state absolute facts, and you're coming out this is a dangerous thing that you have to delete. What is now the main thing? You can't state it because you know you're not making a logical argument. You're not having a logical conversation. It's just based on woke ideology and an agenda that you've set in your head or whatever that you want to continue to follow, right? And you're not following facts. You're not following nuance, you know. And that's another reason why making an argument why being a slave to an idea is not like it's not encouraged at all. You know, it makes you look stupid. You know, that's it.
Thank you very much, Steve. When you even mentioned like people might take what they're saying is wrong and everything, or might not like the way we put it because of social construct. I don't see, guys. Let's keep it a buck. Biology does not acknowledge social construct. Biology is biology. Yeah, it's the basis of everything. Your human body first. It doesn't understand social constructs. If the best time to have a child is 19, and you feel like 19, oh, you should still be. Biology existed before schools existed.
I know, but it also applies.
Do you understand?
To I know. I understand what you're saying.
Stating what he's stating is a fact.
I'm not saying it's not a fact.
Period,
I'm
right?
even talking about the people who are arguing.
Hold on, Steve. Yeah. Even for the people who are arguing, you're just arguing. There are other countries where by 19 you are financially stable and it's the greatest time to have because a child because you can live in a one-income household. What then happens then? Okay, if I tweet in that one now, everything is okay because I tweeted it for Americans. Or for do you understand what I'm saying? Biology doesn't care about all of these things. I remember watching an episode of Law and Order SVU, right? And this young girl was sexually assaulted by I think her boyfriend's friends, like one or two of them, right? And she orgasmed. Do you understand? In that whole thing. And she, what was messing with her head and what Olivia Benson had to talk her out of it is that just because you orgasm doesn't mean that you wanted it. Do you understand? Your body is still your body. Why do most of the people that commit men that commit what they call it sadism is that the right word? I'm coming. I'm trying. Sodomy, rather. I said sodism. Sodomy, right? Why is it that if you look at it, they were also sodomized?
Yes.
Do you understand? Biology doesn't care. But like if as a guy, right? If you are tied to the bed now, someone can and if you don't want to do anything, right? A female can come to you and get you up. Do you understand? Against your will, right? Because your head doesn't want it, but your body is your body. It's the same way if you've taken drugs for a long time, right? Your body finds it very hard to reject drugs, right? For people that are like on crack and all this cocaine, you see that to get them off it, they will even give them a bit of it again to win them off it and all of that, because your body is your body. So if someone says, oh, in biology, look at it, the best time to have a child is age 19. Like, that's what the body says. You shouldn't get mad at him because it's facts. It's stating biological facts. That's my point. Anyways, someone says, Cream Chick again says, Cream Chick 11 says, it's crazy how we politicize science and it upsets me. For days now, people have been fighting over something that is purely biological. You rob people of information to make quality decisions based on your advocacy. It's not right. Lay the facts as they are and apply the nuances as required by your personal circumstances.
I just said now, when you say that there's no nuances that should be applied, it's not the same thing.
I didn't say there's no nuances should be applied. I'm saying don't come and make a blanket. They say personal circumstances. Don't come and make a blanket statement for another person.
Personal circumstances, cultural circumstances, national circumstances. Do you get stuff like that? It all applies. I'm just saying people who make arguments should know how to make arguments nuanced, like in a very, very nuanced way. Not just come and tweet blanket thing. This is you should delete it. Delete what? Now you open Twitter forum. Nonsense.
All right, man. Let's get into the music section. It has been 5 years since Omah dropped his debut EP, Get Laid. Ayo, you want to say something about that, man? And Ayo, give us stronger content. Where all the Afrobeats content you're meant to be giving us? This Omah's EP, Get Laid. Okay, yes, it was the COVID year. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, it's worth talking about. I even thought it was the album, Seth. You're on mute, by the way. I even thought it was the album. But like,
no, it's not the album.
Okay, fine.
Album,
all right,
yeah.
2020 album. Yeah, let's go.
What was his last
I need
album?
some classic albums. Give me some classic stuff, Ayo.
Yeah, but if the album is not, if the album never celebrates 7 years, so
and it doesn't even need to even be classic, right? Give me Durella's debut album. It was such a phenomenal piece of work.
Wait, I even have issues to drag with you. There was a week, 2 weeks ago, that I dropped Two Faces classic album and somebody else classic album, and we didn't do it.
And we can always do it next week.
Okay. No talk. All right.
Yeah.
Omah came into the game in 2020 when everybody was at home. I had no choice but to listen to Apple Music and Spotify. And he dropped his EP called Get Laid. Featured the hits Lolo, Bad Influence, and Yeah, Yeah, Yeah. And ushered in a new a new sound from the Port Harcourt realm, and also firmly placed him among the new set of Gen Z Afrobeat stars, the likes of Fireboy, Joe Boy, Rema, and Omah, then later Arasta. And this was his pathway into the music industry, and he created a lane for himself as a very emotional, Afrobeat-centric kind of The Weeknd, somebody who feels he should be mysterious but also delivers quality music. And this has been the bedrock of his sound till now. And currently we're waiting the release of his second album, highly anticipated second album.
Great. I remember when Bad Influence dropped. Oh my God. And we're just like, man, who is this guy? And why does this thing sound so sleek?
Yeah,
so man, different. It was good stuff. The instrumentation, the writing, the singing.
His best record is Bendy.
Ooh, Bendy was really good.
I'm drinking Hennessy now. I hope you see now. Say you don't bust my eyeglass. You don't scatter my plans. See my eye, I don't cross. You put me for ambulance. See why you make me bitch. See why you make me big. See what you did to me. God save me, please. I know you got me now. I know you got me now. I know you got me now. Followed you up and down. Followed you up and down. Followed you up and now I don't lost my mind. Now I don't lost my mind. Now I don't lost my. Now and I know you lied. Now I know you lied. Now I know, cause the doctor said I burnt my liver. I've been drinking, smoking cigar. Used to sing and play my guitar. Now I'm lost in this and bizarre.
You are now listening to Loose Talk.
Everything I do, everything where you talk, I do. Everything where you ask, I do. So you don't.
All right, man. Shout out to Malay. And he followed that up with another EP right before the album, right?
Yes. Followed up about another EP again. Then he dropped the album, which was a very good album.
Yeah, dope album. So shout out to Adeayo Adebiyi. Of course, you guys know who he is. He is everything music when it comes to Pulse. And yeah, just basically a fan of music and a very interesting writer of Nigerian music. He put out his top Afrobeat albums, right?
Yeah.
Top Afrobeat albums. And it says Superstar by WASSCE, Face to Face by Two Face, Mushin to More Hits by Wandiko, Boy Alone by Omah, and Asha by Asha. And you know what? I can't argue with that list.
Did he say Afrobeats? Because I'm wondering why Asha is there, but it's all good.
Let me see what he said. Well, he started off by saying Boy Alone is comfortably one of the top 5 greatest debut albums in Nigerian mainstream music since 2000. I could listen to it 20 times a day and still be stunned by its excellence. The quality makes a sophomore such a tall order for Malay. How does he do this? How? Okay, so he's talking about debut albums.
Okay.
Top 5 greatest debut albums. This for me,
I can't argue.
I can't argue it.
I can't argue.
This you can argue.
I say I can't argue.
Yeah, you can't argue, man. It's a good one.
Boy Alone sounds better every single time I play it. It's amazing.
Yeah. Boy, debut album, come on, man. All these are debut albums. Superstar by WASSCE, Face to Face by Two Face, Mushin to More Hits by Wandiko, Boy Alone by Omah, and Asha by Asha.
Omo.
Yeah.
We enjoyed. We're sports rotting.
No, we're sports. We're sports.
Now, if you get one hot song, we'll manage it and say, okay, that's fine.
We're sports.
Based on the quality of Two Face's sophomore, I don't think his debut deserves to be on this album, on this list, of the fact that he was able to deliver something of equal value, equal quality.
It doesn't still stop his debut from being a classic.
Yeah, because if we rank all debuts,
the debut is a classic.
I'm not saying it's not a classic. I'm saying I'm just talking about my own differentiation, right?
Mm-hmm.
The difference it has, like, from other albums on this list, is that I'm not sure there's another album of the same quality as the debut from the other artist. Maybe you can argue.
Yeah.
Maybe you argue WASSCE, but Superstar remains his best.
No, you can't even argue
standout.
WASSCE.
You can't even argue WASSCE.
Not
Ayo. I'm just saying subsequently, like, he released like Made in Lagos, which was also a good album, but Superstar is still the best album, right? It's like the only person on that list that released an equal, like, an album of the same quality as the
or better self
is Two Face DV, to be very honest.
Depends on who you ask. Yeah.
It's Two Face. One day, we already one day cannot do Mushi to Mohit again. Something of that quality.
You know, I figured out.
Hey, but what about Asha? Asha
is Asha. No, don't. There's no. Let's not even go there. Let's not go there. And there's no Asha album that's as good as Asha.
No, the second album is better than the first album.
Which one is the second album?
Perfect Imperfection.
Beautiful Imperfection is better than Asha.
Come on for here.
I know, Grill.
Should we do it? Should we do an Asha off? Let's quickly go.
What are you saying now?
What are you talking about? Beautiful Imperfection is a better album than Asha's first album. It's a more refined, better album. I can play his records. Oh my God! Do you want to do a face-off? I'm ready.
We're not doing face-off.
Play me your Asha album from the first album. Play me. I'll play you my
everything now. You play everything now. I don't understand. What are you saying? Asha and Beautiful Imperfection. Like,
Okay,
Man.
okay, let's do it. Let's quickly do it. Let me open my Spotify for this shit. You've annoyed me now. What are you talking about? You just love something, then nostalgia will just lock in. Then you'll not be able to think again.
It's not nostalgia. We had it that time.
All right, let me
first
play
album
it.
is better.
Okay, Jailer.
Oh, hey.
This one, let's end this contest now. So that you don't embarrass yourself. Let's end it now. Please.
No.
Jailer, right? Let's go.
Yes.
No, let's go. Jailer 360. This is a jam. I'm not saying the album is a classic, but the
Let's
second
end
one
this
is a
thing
classic.
now. Let's end it
No,
now, please.
No, I'm not.
All right.
The second album is better in
We don't
writing.
have to go to 360.
Yo, you don't go put one this thing nice. Say it right.
No, see guys, the two albums are classics. I'm not trying to say one is better than the. I can't downplay one. Look at Bibanke is a classic. Do you understand? But let's keep going. The thing is that you've forgotten Beautiful Imperfection. I'll remind you.
I wake up.
Subway, classic. Fire on the Mountain.
Wait, you don't want
classic.
to end this thing now. You don't want to end it now. You want to continue with this thing.
Hey, Adaba. Amazing.
Hey, Osagie.
Do you understand?
Osagie.
This is my best track from the album. No one knows. Written by Cubana. Look at Cubana scratching. Can you see that? Can you feel that bass line? Oh my god, it's the instrumentation. Okay. Away is amazing, man. This is crazy, actually. Alright, then Peace. Alright, then So Beautiful. That is it. And that's the album, right? 10 songs, amazing. Now, let us go to Beautiful Imperfection.
Okay.
Let us go. Come on. No, Steve, don't do that. Don't do that.
Just let's end it now.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Let's end
Woke
it
up
now,
early this morning.
Come
with
on.
a smile on my face. Thought you were next to me, but then I see you walking away. Something right this morning. Is it a sign he's leaving me? So I call on a friend whom I know better than me. She says you worry much about things you don't understand.
You don't long now.
This song cannot make that album.
It makes it now.
This song, it can't make
Makes
it.
it.
It makes it.
This is a different feel. Yeah, chorus.
Why can't you be happy?
Come on, see how you feel. Come on.
Next track.
Guys, see, Ayo knows what I'm saying. See, Ayo
This is my best song from the album.
Maybe. The lyrics of this album is better than the first album.
Maybe this world is full of pain.
Come on, let's go. Come on! Come on! Come on! Come on!
Don't leave them out now.
Come on!
My mama used to tell me
Hey,
that
let's
that's
keep it
cool.
Preacher man, guys. The first verse of this song is crazy. The second verse is crazier.
Preacher man, please have some faith.
Preacher man, please have some faith.
I've come to you cause I lost my way.
Oh my God.
Here I am with my bag of shame.
Oh my God.
Oh, please don't set me away.
Oh yeah, next track.
Oh, here chorus.
Yesterday,
Oh, chorus
the
never
other
enter.
day.
I need you now. I need you. Hey, preacher man. Oh yeah, let's go. See texture of music now. See Steve know it's at the top. Now
Listen to the answer. Beg.
Listen.
Think bang by me we.
Hey.
I was in the business me.
Hey.
Recollect back. Oh, cause I me be money. Oh, bong bong mama love you. All I know what need my business me.
Steve won't die. Steve won't die. Come on. Bill, remember when the rock part comes in this record? Forgotten. Yeah, chorus.
I know now.
Yeah, this part now, Steve. Oh, God. Come on! Let me keep you going. You know, at concerts, people react more to this album when she's performing it to the first album. I've been to 2 or 3 of her concerts. So it's a better album, man. More matured.
I beg.
I feel like I'm floating through
Oh my God.
I feel like I'm
You guys are seeing the quality. Oh, see my song. See my song. See my song.
Just when life is getting better, you face cold and stormy weather. Just know it won't last forever, you see. And now I don't know what I should believe.
Yeah, chorus now. Let's go.
Okay. My life is moving, but demons are fighting.
It's a murderation! It's a murderation! Guys, I know you can't see this, but 2 of them are dancing right now, man.
It's I neckline.
Alright, let me kill you. Dreamer girl, let me kill you. Dreamer girl.
Have you ever heard of a dreamer girl living in a world so far away? You might think that she is a bit naive when she says that someday she'll be your queen.
Oh my God. The lyrics are killing me.
Is it a crime? Or is it just a silver stage?
Yeah, chorus.
Baby, close your eyes, let your dream. Maybe someday, one day.
Guy, round of applause for Asha. But battling the first and the second album. I can even go into a whole, the third album is a classic too, which it is. But I'll free you guys on that one. But like,
we're not saying it's not a classic. I'm just saying the first one is way better.
The first one is
bro. I literally just heard the second album and you still feel the first album is better.
Yes, man. Yes.
Go and listen to this. Go and listen to the second album throughout this week. That's the only album.
Osagie is giving us homework again. On top of
the writing of this second album is so matured. I've not. The only person that plays on this level is Brimo. Writing. That's the only person that plays on this level is Brimo. The writing on this second album, it's a bit dark, right? It has the bright spot, it has the dark spot.
And Two-Face.
It's perfect. And Two-Face when he was, because Two-Face has to do commercial records, so he always wants to play in that space. If Two-Face was dedicated to this kind of space, don't turn philosopher.
I had to tell you.
It'll be too deep for us. But yeah, shout out to that. All right, Falz has released the 6th album, The Feast. I talked about it last week, right? Folarin, you did it, bro. Shout out to you. You did it. You came back and you gave us something that we want, and it was good. Yeah, you want to say something, Steve?
You know, I was scared when I first heard that the album opener. You know, he released that as a video.
Yes.
I'm like, bro, nah.
Funny
I'm like,
enough, I
nah.
like it. The
Oh, you
round of
liked
applause,
it?
right? Yeah.
Well,
I like it. Round of applause. It gave me Falz vibe. You know? He sounds very confident on this album.
Yeah, on the album, it now makes more sense.
For me, round of applause, yeah. Seen this before when Swag and Couture, man. Sign of the cross, eh. Tuesday play the beat, load that in logic. And me, my floors till I land in my coffin. But all of my sub, man. Balish my drop, eh. Il long pay me now, model cover. You want on the top from my sauce, you they shady. It's okay to try to copy, but results may vary. Temperature may rise and thoughts may be hazy. Staring in her eyes, I'm engrossed in this lady and she told me for this life, something must kill it, man. If your own enjoyment, you know bad. Did I tell you that I love your nappy hair, yeah? Your full lips and your perky breasts. Tonight, when we dancing in the sack, I beg you please, please, say you no go let me rest. Still, I dey wonder if police go let me rest. I dey stunt hard, let they see the evidence. Don't shout, you go need intelligence. Me, I be citizen and I must see the president. Now me put on there, no be me vote time, yes. Plus, I'm not really happy with this whole affair. Where we they talk anglais, they worship français. Why can't I just see genius in myself? Why don't I just stop looking out for help? I know that's I could do it all myself. Introduce you to my people, this is usually what you get. Extraordinary, super fucking fantabulous. Not a woman on me, you know go fit come tackle us. See they do my body like you always want to target us. Can they look me stubborn, can they look me can't target us? Yeah, give me love so cool, mo fẹ́ kí ye moja. Shetty for a while and we dey forget to now. We take the blocks, build it up, we dey for Legoland. We wait for zero chance, we do the mellow dance. Soft life, soft yansh, more shine, more pies. No surprise, say more guys, they come back. Fun times, chop life, rub ties. I won't die, we lock eyes, she just smile, we don't start. Soft life, soft yansh, more shine, more pies. No surprise, say more guys, they come back. Fun times, chop life, rub ties. I won't die, we lock eyes, she just smile, we don't start.
Olari is back, baby. Welcome back, Falz, the black guy.
This brilliant hip hop music, bro.
Do you understand? Look at he's flossing, he's rapping, he's switching from English to pidgin. He's giving us some French. He's dancing around different topics. He still talks about politics. You know, this is Falz. This is the Falz I love.
You know my favorite track?
No less.
You should know. You should know my favorite track.
Yes, no less. Let's
listen to it. No, this is not it.
You don't like no less?
No, I like it, but this is my favorite track.
Let me look for your favorite track.
No more, no less. No more, no less. No more, no less. Don't trust
No, man. Oh, your track is Wayo.
Story time.
Oh, story. No, yeah, story time was good. Story time, and I love. And Nigerian rappers don't do a lot of storytelling. So when they do it, I love it.
He was saying the stories, then hearing the voices again. I'm like, bro, this guy locked in. He locked in.
Yeah,
Welcome back.
He locked in.
Welcome back.
Shout out to him. He has Wayo. Wayo too was Wayo's. I love Wayo as well.
Then the guest acts, they all came through, sure.
The King Madi record, I don't understand it.
Oh, for you? I like it.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
Do you
I feel
like
like
it? Verse.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, this that new Africa. I buy down some Nike Air Classics. I'm sipping palm wine as time passes. We in the clubhouse till 5:30. The way we they kill the dance moves without practice. Pepper in my mouth, pepper in my pocket. Still I pepper this fuckers when I kill the concept. Tell silly politicians and greedy prophets. Say we no go fit to let them chop us, we no be puppets. Falz one shade D smoke little bit. This that new energy, so that's okay with it. I bought a pemo shit, I bought a pemo kid. I don't know pemo kid. Shall you see that sweet chocolate stuff? So my baby find that. She beat your girl landslide. If I check the backside, the swag is eccentric and yeah, the moves is electric. It's the silence of our fathers, we refuse to inherit. But you, why yo? You be why yo? Why yo? You be why yo? Why yo? This be why yo? The way when you shop now, so you go die go. Why yo? You be why yo? Why yo? You be why yo? Why yo? This be why yo? The way when you shop now, so you go die go.
Shout out to Falz.
Yeah.
You can check it out. The Feast. It is on all digital streaming platforms. You guys could go check it out there. Congratulations.
He found himself again.
Yeah. You know what a brilliant discography and just a brilliant like journey as an artist, especially being the son of one of Nigeria's respected legal practitioners. You know, senior advocate of Nigeria, studied law, done his own thing, tried to play football. You know, brilliant. I love how he touched on all of those things.
That football part was nice.
This album took me back to his first album, by the way.
Yeah.
It took me back to his first album. That's the second project after Shakara, the mixtape. It took me back to his first album. The feel that first album gave me, some of the storytelling there and the writing and what he's saying. Yeah. Shout out to Falz.
I brought up Falz's conversation last week, but I didn't follow up with it because of how Osagie wasn't just Osagie's comments wasn't like that. Osagie criticized him a lot last week, so that's why I like Falz too much, so I don't think I can have a logical conversation about Falz, and that's why I didn't follow up. I didn't push it last week because I didn't know how to, But bro, I played this album before I asked you guys. I was just playing the album. I'm like, bro, what is happening here? So I asked you guys, and that's why I asked you guys about how you felt about the album on Motor.
Yeah, see, bro, when you hear a project, right? If the project is good, it's good. Now, you can have people who do project for like niche markets and stuff, right? Not everybody's going to love like an Odusi. Do you understand? You just love him because he makes like great music. So your palette might just be different. That's one thing. But like generally, you hear a project that makes sense, even if it's not something you really dig, you can acknowledge that it's dope. This is a dope project, dope beats, dope raps. I give it a nice 3.5/5, which is good.
It is, which is very good. Yeah,
which is good. So shout out to him again. Chilling. Man, I just like rappers making rap albums.
Just make it good. Make it good.
Understand?
Simple.
All the guys that I love, from the Show Them Camps to all of them, they all just make projects.
Just rap.
Because that is where you can really explore.
We can see your
mind state.
Your world.
Yes. Just rap, just put it on projects for me. So shout out to Falz again, once again. And guys,
just two projects that if you love rap, you should listen to. Payback has a new mixtape called Omuo the Mixtape. Bro, rapping his ass off. Like, bro, that guy doesn't lose form at all. He's crazy. There's a new guy on the scene. His name is Wave Star. He's dropped a mixtape end of last year. It's called Star Life the Mixtape. Bro, Nigerian rap is in good hands. This boy is rapping. He has a bit of alter in him, but bro, the boy sabi rap. He sabi rap. Very, very good. He's talking about the pressure of being a young man in Nigeria's educational system, dealing with ASU, and the temptation of doing fraud. Bro, the boy sabi. He's good.
That's it, man. That's what I want to hear.
I beg, send me this in on WhatsApp now, please.
So which DSP do you use? I only use Premium Spotify. I don't know
use all of them.
Okay, thank you.
No. I use Apple Music. You don't mind me.
I'll just send you the names. Don't worry.
Just the names now.
Yeah.
All right, man. We've come to the end. Guys, fan mail next week. We'll do the fan mail episode. I'm sorry.
Sure.
We'll do the fan mail next week. We got to jet out. We've taken a lot of everybody's Sunday already, but I want to thank everybody for being on the pod here and speaking your mind. Thank you very much. And for everybody that listens and that's listening to this episode right now, go and have a fruitful week ahead. Blessings. I'm going to leave you in the very safe hands of Jazzman Olofin. I call him the Deban for the Debanch. And let's listen to Jazzman and some background vocals from the late greats OJB Jazreel.
Let's go,
guys.
Wọ́n ti dá mi mọ̀ náà ṣe pariwo. Bọ̀bọ̀ Jazzman. Wọ́n ti dá mi mọ̀ náà ṣe pariwo. Ó yá OJ fún mi ní instrumental kí n lè representa délé. Ṣé mọ̀ tó bá ti fún mi ní instrumental màá yára representa délé. lálẹ́ ọjọ́ kan tí mo bá wọn lọlé ijó ṣe mọ̀ lálálẹ́ Friday me and my boys got to party. Ìgbà táwa délé ijó mo rí pé I need some action. I need a pretty little sexy girl tó máa fún mi satisfaction. Ọmọ tí ń rí àṣẹ Americana olójú wáṣewáṣe like Cinderella. Pretty baby ọmọge sweet banana my bad délé délé. Gotta make you lose control. Jẹ́ ká mú mi funky. Ọkàn ti sún, orí ti change. It is a funky. Gotta make you lose control. Jẹ́ ká mú mi funky. Ṣẹ̀ráyà tí ń dá yẹn nílé ijó it's a funky. Funky. Ṣẹ̀rójú ayé abẹ́ orí ìtàn adé ọlọ́run.